Technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
This is Wisconsin linebacker Mason Posa.
Mason Posa shuts the door.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. The Milwaukee Brewers notched another sweep yesterday as they battled adversity to defeat the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 2-1. Cards pitcher Dustin May had a no-hitter going through 7 innings before a leadoff double from Garrett Mitchell kicked off the Crew's rally. Luis Rengifo followed with a bunt single before Christian Yelich tied the game at 1, and an error by Mason Wynn scored the go-ahead run. Trevor McGill shut the door, and that was all she wrote. The Brewers are now 20-7 in their last 27 games and have a 4.5-game lead in the National League Central. The Crew gets an off day before heading to Houston for a 3-game set with the Stros, like how the schedule lines up for Milwaukee. Now OTAs continue for the Green Bay Packers. We'll tell you all about them here from Matt LaFleur. Coming up next on Wilde Tausch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be as almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde Touch, isn't it?
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Thursday edition. We can disagree on whether the locker room should have been closed yesterday or not, but we can't disagree that we at least got to watch practice, so that's something. Edition. The Matt LaFleur speaks, although he did speak about a variety of things that weren't related to Josh Jacobs. He did not say much about the Josh Jacobs situation. Edition. And a plot twist yesterday from the Brown County District Attorney's Office as they held off on filing formal charges against the Packers running back. Edition of Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Riley Yauk, once again, is our cousin sub of the day for Jesse Nelson, who's in Boston or something. Riley, good morning. How are things in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios?
Good morning, Jason. Pleasant as usual in the Everlight Solar Studios.
And from an undisclosed location that is not a bus, but is not going to be disclosed, at least at this point. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. So is all of your Law and Order watching starting to pay off?
I think so. I mean, I did reach out
So tell
to
me
a
what's
few...
up. Why would you not press charges if you arrest people? Like, can you explain, Lenny Briscoe, what has happened here?
So I think I'm going to defer to the statement. No, I'm not. Look, this remains a very serious series of allegations. I am in no way going to downplay the significance of what we're talking about here. As I had a few conversations with people that are more well-versed in the ways of the police department and the legal process, more than just me watching Lenny Briscoe and Ronaldo Curtis and the gang on Law & Order, it is not by any means unheard of, but it is slightly unusual for the police to bring these charges and then for the district attorney's office to say, no, there needs to be more investigation. We are going to hold off for now. That is not typical. Now, there can be a variety of reasons for that. And look, let's be careful here. And I guess I'm talking to me more than anything else. Like, it is puzzling. Now, I don't know enough about the inner workings of the Hobart Lawrence Police Department versus, say, the Green Bay Police Department. My friends that are cops are Green Bay and Milwaukee cops. But again, you know, it's a smaller municipality. It's actually the combination of a town and a village. I'm not going to disparage them in any way, because when you've got, and Channel 4 in Milwaukee, WTMJ TV, had audio of the dispatcher calls that they played last night on their newscast, and there's a neighbor saying that she can hear things crashing and breaking, and she hears yelling and screaming. I'm in no way questioning what the police did. I am just, I guess puzzled is the right word, as to why a high-profile case like this ends in an arrest, and then 24 hours later, you know, the player, in this case, Josh Jacobs, is released from jail without charges having been formally brought. And let me just read the statement, or a portion of the statement, from the Brown County District Attorney. Quote, after reviewing the available evidence in this case, the Brown County District Attorney's Office is not yet prepared to make a formal charging decision. Our office has requested additional investigation, as there is reason to believe that additional evidence may exist that would impact whether criminal charges are appropriate and what charges would be issued. Mr. Jacobs was released from custody at this time, and a final charging decision will be made by our office at a later date. When I look at that statement, it is in no way saying that there won't be charges, but it is also entertaining the possibility that there won't be charges. Whether criminal charges are appropriate is a phrase that says, at least in part, it's possible there won't be charges. Which is why, when we go through this process, you have to be cautious about guilty until proven innocent in the court of public opinion. And this could very well still be a major problem for the Packers and for Josh Jacobs from a football perspective, because as Adam Schefter has pointed out on our airwaves, there is an automatic 6-game suspension if you are convicted, and even if you aren't convicted of a domestic abuse charge and you are just accused, there are still potential suspensions that could occur under the personal conduct policy. So that is That is what my understanding is. I had a few conversations with a few different people that know a lot more than me, and they all found it to be curious that in a high-profile case like this, the Ducks weren't in a row. And that was basically the best explanation I can give you.
Yeah, I mean, when was he actually arrested, and when did the cops and the ambulance and all of the emergency people all come out? Was that on Saturday? Is that what happened?
So the incident occurred on Saturday.
Okay.
Police were dispatched. Now, again, listening to, and kudos to Channel 4 TV in Milwaukee. I mean, I don't know who their editors were that went through all the audio from the police dispatch, which is available, open records, I suppose. But that brought some further information, including the fact that Josh Jacobs left after this all occurred. So, again, it happened on Saturday. He was arrested, which my understanding is that he turned himself in at their behest on Tuesday. He spent the night in jail and was released yesterday. So that was the timeline for the charges were brought by the police department of Hobart and Lawrence on Tuesday. He was arrested on those domestic abuse-related charges, and then the Brown County District Attorney decides whether or not to pursue those immediately or, in this case, seek more evidence and make their decision at a later date.
I guess the reason I asked that is because you would think if you're going to arrest someone, it would be in the heat of the moment. You want to get people out of those situations, let cooler heads prevail. And what's unique, or as the people that you've talked to, that was 3 days later. So you have a much better idea, calmer heads, and usually you would think cooler heads would prevail. And that's why it's so surprising. If you had gotten arrested and everything on Saturday, now maybe the holiday weekend, that's where I don't know if you can't process things. So that's the part I don't fully understand. But I think this is very unique in the fact that you decided not to. And there's obviously, when you're in a high profile case like this, you better make sure all of your stuff is lined up and dialed in, because, from the victim standpoint, you're always going to be looking at making sure the processes are followed. We all live through a lot of high profile cases that you can get, there can be some things misconstrued and everything else. So you want to have everything lined up. That's why it's just surprising you would do that and then not do anything. Give it a couple beats, especially if you don't have to take people out of an environment in the heat of the moment that obviously happened on Saturday.
Great point.
So I think those are the questions that you have. And I think if you're Josh Jacobs, you're obviously and the Green Bay Packers, you don't ever want to see this thing get to court. You don't want to see any charges filed. So, and on the other side of it, and that's where I think you look at yesterday was supposed to happen. It wasn't. That obviously means things weren't tied up or dialed in enough to go ahead and actually process these things.
So I think there's, and again, this is, I am reluctant to speak beyond my level of knowledge, but I would also, this is also part of the statement from the district attorney's office, which I think is worth noting, because they do take steps in the release to explain the differential between the probable cause that the police acts upon and then what the Brown County District Attorney's Office has to make the decision on. And I'm reading this directly again from David Lassay, the Brown County District Attorney. While the standard for arrest is probable cause, when the District Attorney's Office makes a decision to issue criminal charges, it is bound to apply a higher standard. That is, whether there is admissible evidence available that rises to the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The decision to issue criminal charges is a responsibility that the Brown County District Attorney's Office takes seriously. Therefore, it is common in our office to review referrals where law enforcement has made a mandatory arrest for domestic abuse, but our office chooses to release the individual from custody and request further investigation before making a formal charging decision. So essentially,
they're trying to be prudent.
and they're saying basically right now we don't have sufficient evidence that we believe rises to the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, and
it doesn't mean that they won't gather that.
The only question I would have on that is once you do what happened on Tuesday, you create a big storm. So if there's not, and this is where I don't know, so I'm just asking the question, if it's not in the heat of the moment where you need to get people out of a hostile environment, why do it 4 days later when it's not? Because regardless of what ends up happening, let's just say, for instance, that there's not enough evidence and you don't bring anything, you've now created a blank storm for what, right? And on the other side of it, you want to make sure everybody is safe. So had you done this Saturday, I wouldn't even ask this question. But when you wait till Tuesday, that's the question I have, because once you do this, you can't put that cat back in the bag, if you get my drift.
No, you're right. And look, obviously something occurred.
Yes.
Basically, at this point, two people know exactly what occurred, and they probably have different views on it as well. I would say that, again, the fact that a neighbor heard enough of a clatter or a commotion that they felt compelled to call the police, it was obviously something that was enough that they could hear it in their home or in their yard or whatever. So something occurred. I don't want anyone to think we're dismissing any of this at all. And we did talk a lot of football eventually, not with the players, of course, because the locker room was closed, but with Matt LaFleur after we got past this portion of the press briefing. But to your point, and I was talking about this with Chewy, who has obviously some firsthand experience with the court of public opinion as well, people will view Josh Jacobs differently now that this has come to light.
No doubt.
And you can say that, if this ends up being something where he isn't charged, that is part of the record too. But it's kind of like when a newspaper, from personal experience, makes a mistake, right? They don't then put the correction on the front page of the newspaper that says, we got this wrong. It is a little box inside on one of the inside pages, and it says, we regret the error, right? So you can't unring the bell. Again, I am not in any way saying that he is innocent of anything. That is obviously innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I don't know what happened, so I'm not in any way defending his behavior. What I am saying is that this is a big, major story. As Homer kept telling us yesterday, there should have been nothing else discussed other than this. I am curious as to, the fact that the district attorney put in his statement that it is common for our office to review referrals where law enforcement has made a mandatory arrest for domestic abuse. I'll take his word for it, because that's not my area of expertise. But in a high-profile case like this, for that all to occur on Tuesday and then for yesterday to play out the way it did, I do think that there is some element of surprise to some people, including people that know a hell of a lot more about this than I do. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur, who deferred on most of these questions. There were a series of questions asked by various reporters, different ways, looking for him to answer something. I sent that along to Riley. We can play that coming up. But this is still a cloud that will continue to hang over this team until we either have the decision not to move forward with charges, or until he is charged, and then that becomes an entirely different scenario. But again, from a purely football perspective, as we discussed yesterday, I didn't like where their running back depth chart was when Josh Jacobs was healthy and none of this had happened. And now there are valid questions to ask about what they're doing at running back. And Tausch, as much as, you want to say that you're concerned about the accuser and you want everyone to be safe, all that is meaningful. But Goody is also sitting in his office, and it's his job to think about what this means from a football perspective. And do we need to go out and get a running back? Did I make a mistake not giving Emmanuel Wilson $2 million to come back because that's all he got from the Seahawks? Like, those things, they do have to have people to play that position. And right now they've got a guy who carried the ball 27 times last season. They've got a guy who's missed 35 of a possible 36 games in his NFL career. And they've got 3 guys that have never carried the ball in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's where they're at. So from a football perspective, there are some
Jordan
serious...
Love MVP season's looking even more likely.
He's going to be throwing a lot of footballs, that's for sure. All right, I don't want to spend more time on this because we don't have any further answers. I know we've had a few criminal defense attorneys who have offered their services to us to give some insight. I will work on determining whether we want to go back down that road or not. But one road that you want to go down if your windows need replacing is the road with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And if you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now is the time, because Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin are offering a bunch of different zero-interest financing options. That's right, 0% interest. And in Wisconsin, your home takes a beating year-round. The right windows and doors can improve comfort, boost energy efficiency, and upgrade your home's look. Pella's experts will help you find the perfect fit for your home and within your budget, all with zero interest options available. You can upgrade now and pay over time without paying a dime in interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
We will address some of the other aspects of the Packers open OTA practice yesterday coming up. I do want to play the back and forth with LaFleur and get Tausch's thoughts on that, because I totally understand the scenario he was in and the job that we have to do. But it was nice when we turned our attention to football. I'll leave it at that. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
Have you noticed all the roofing signs in your neighborhood due to the hail damage?
Most of those asphalt roofs have to be replaced.
Most metal roofs do not.
So if you're tired of yard signs and replacing shingles,
consider a Suita metal roof.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Suita. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Suita metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Suita Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Huge cash prizes are being stacked for summer at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. On Friday, May 15th, 30 winners will each take home $1,000, while one winner receives a $10,000 grand prize. Then on Friday, May 29th, 24 more winners will each get $1,000, plus one grand prize winner pockets $25,000. And in June, we crank up the heat with a $100,000 grand prize. Stack up the wins all month long at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
All the biggest voices, all in one place. The Yingling Legends Line. Exclusive insight from Hall of Famers, All-Stars, and Game Changers, all on the Yingling Legends Line.
Brian Braun, I appreciate you joining us here on Kyle and Brust.
But we just wanted to have fun. You know, baseball's a game of failure and adversity. It's such a long season. You want to find ways to enjoy the success when you have good moments.
The Yingling Legends Line. Crack open a Yingling lager and raise a toast to an American tradition. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a legendary group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 5th through the 7th with an exciting team competition at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Little Big Town with special guests Randy Houser and May Estes. Friday, June 5th at Breeze Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
It's time for the American Value event in Metro Florida Madison. Get into a 2025 Ford Bronco with 4.9% APR for 66 months. That's just $17.64 for $1,000 finance. Plus, every new vehicle at Metro Florida Madison comes with their exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Don't miss out. These offers end May 31st, 2026. Head to Metro Florida Madison on the east side or visit metrofloridamadison.com and drive home your new F-150 today.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
It's the summer of suspense for Giannis and the Bucks.
So sometime over the next 6 or 7 weeks, we'll decide whether Giannis is going to sign a max contract and stay with us, or he's going to play somewhere else.
Follow along right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
We interrupt this episode of Law and Order. For Tausch's Tennis Minute.
Yes.
Tennis is the only sport where the uniform is what you would wear under your clothes in any other sport. You're actually out there in your underwear.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Tausch Tennis Minute.
Live from Roland Garros, it is Mark Tauscher with Tausch's Tennis Minute.
Oh, oui. This is a stunning upset. I'm talking monster upset. Alcaraz, he's
not
out.
In the tournament.
He's got
Injured.
a bum wrist. He's not even playing in Wimbledon. He's already pulled out. Djokovic is 38, 39 years old, but there are two big dogs in tennis, and the rivalry is heated. It's Sinner and it's Alcaraz, and Novak's still hanging in there. Well, Sinner at the French Open just was one game away from winning in straight sets, no problem. He ends up getting beat in 5 sets, 6-1, 6-1 to close up shop against some guy named Cerundolo, I don't know how to even pronounce his name. And obviously huge upset, and I know people don't care about tennis. I do, and I might be going past a minute, but this is another reminder of how important it is to have a rival and to stay on edge, because I'm sure the heat is part of the reason that Sinner got beat, but I also think it probably was looking at it like, my main competition is out. This is going to be Coast City, USA. And in tennis, when you see a little crack, there is no clock to run out. You have to finish everything. He didn't, and this is one of the bigger upsets we've seen in tennis, probably at Roland Garros since Robin Soderling beat Rafa in one of his only losses in the history of that place. Tells you again how great Rafa was. Sinner down at the French Open. That is my tennis 2 minutes for today.
The player who defeated Sinner is Francisco Cerundolo.
That was close.
Cerundolo.
Where is he from? Where is that flag? I'm trying to see.
He is Spanish in descent, I believe.
That's not a Spanish flag.
He is from Argentina.
Argentina. Okay.
I stand corrected.
Right.
Argentinian professional tennis player. The highest he's ever been ranked, 18th, back a year ago, May 2025.
So now we obviously...
It's a big dub for
Djokovic
him.
is the most... he's not very well liked by a lot of people for whatever reason. I want him getting over the hump. I'd love to see him now. His two big guys he has been battling here, trying to find a way. He's already the GOAT. This will be a cherry on top of a goat. Cherry on top of a Sunday goat, if that makes sense. Or a cherry on top of a goat.
So as a lover of tennis, and we'll hear from LaFleur next. As a lover of tennis, and look, I will admit I have watched more from Roland Garros than previous years. Now that our friend Brian Anderson is on the call,
because you thought Lauren Order was on TNT, and it just happened to be French Open.
FBI is often on TNT. Because our friend Brian Anderson is on the call, and I enjoy McEnroe. He's with McEnroe when he's doing this, and it's. I watched a few matches over the weekend. I had it on again in the background when I was working the other day. I have to say, I'm intrigued now by the Joker's opportunity. My question for you, as a ardent supporter of tennis in general, he's not your guy, right?
He is now. No, he is now.
Well, now wait a minute. So if you're, I guess I'm wondering, are you rooting for him now, even though he's not your favorite player?
Yes.
Like Federer is your favorite player.
Federer is my guy, and I respect Nadal. And that big, is that documentary out on Netflix already with Nadal? Because if it's not,
you're the tennis guy. Like, I don't ask much, but like that feels like something I should be able to ask you, and you can tell me.
I haven't checked on Netflix because I'm still watching Homeland in my pocket. I think it was out right before the French Open. I have to say, I just respect greatness, and when someone has accomplished what Joker has, and he's still competing and grinding the way he is, I don't know how you can't respect that. He could walk away. He has had the greatest career in the history of tennis. And he's 39 years old, and he's still doing what he needs to do to compete with all these guys. I don't know how you can't look at that and just say, God bless you. And that's where I hope he finds a way to get this done. And I know we all want people to walk off, and I don't want that with him. But I just would love to see him find a way to get this done. And now I'm actually even more intrigued. Normally you get a Star of Sinners category in his prime. Out of it, you're less intrigued. I'm actually more intrigued now because now I feel like Joker has a fighting shot.
According to Netflix's official site, and I hate it when people say, what am I, Google? But per Google, the 4-part documentary series Rafa premieres tomorrow.
So I was right on top of it. Hey, Riley, can you book Rafa to promote his Netflix show tomorrow?
Yeah, that'll be pretty simple. We'll take care of it.
The official trailer is available right now.
Jason, if I had one, I know you wanted Bo Jackson, and I didn't deliver on that, and I'm still a little irritated at my buddy Stitch about that, but that's another story for another day. I think Federer and Nadal, and I know that is not what we do here, those would be my two. If I could get a tandem to sit and do a 5-hour podcast with, those would be the guys I'd pick in all of sports.
if you had to pick a pecking order and you could only get one of Nadal, Federer, it would be Federer. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page. That's what I would vote for as well. All right. If you only could pick one insurance company, you would pick American Family Insurance.
Well, I've already done that, and that has been a partner of mine and a partner of Wilde Tausch from the jump. And just like a great team needs great protection, so does your family. And I spent my career on the O-line. And when you know you're protected, you can play a whole lot freer. That's what American Family Insurance is all about. With the right home and auto coverage, they will help you protect what you've worked hard for and the dreams you're building for the future. That way you focus on family, not the what-ifs. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
I was not expecting to do a Tausch's Tennis Minute there. But shout out to Tony.
I didn't expect Yannick Sinner to get knocked off.
No, agreed. But shout out to Tony Cartagena, the OG, or the OP, the original producer of Wilde Tausch, who created that like a decade ago. Tausch's Tennis Minute. We never really got a sponsor for that. Maybe it's because we didn't have a lot of tennis minutes, but be that as it may. We will return to our Packers conversation and hear from Matt LaFleur as he was asked a myriad of questions about the Josh Jacobs situation. And then we'll get to some of the football we actually talked with him. Coming up, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is our crew.
Pitch and a high fly ball deep left field. This ball's way back and way gone. Wild Bill, a 3-run shot.
We are Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. All that power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love, with 0% financing options available. So you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free at-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer expires May 31st, 2026.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2026 Honda CR-V Hybrid Sport L for as low as $339 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
This is our crew.
And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Would you like fries with that?
Every pitch, every strike, every hit.
To high drive, deep right, fair, and gone!
Hear the call of every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Jumped up, Jackson Chario brought it back! Oh,
You're listening to Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Whether you're grilling outside, sitting on the patio, or watching the game, summer is the perfect time to sip on a cocktail made with Door County Distillery. Handcrafted award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. Mix up a G&T with that signature green bottle of gin, or sip on it with a couple of rocks, my favorite, the Door County Distillery Bourbon. Made in Door County, available all over the state, including right here in the Madison area. Local, affordable, award-winning. That's what it's all about. It's Door County Distillery. Find the retailer nearest you, DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. And when you look around right now, everything seems to be extra expensive in the world. Except this. Right now, get a large 3-topping pizza for just $10 at Pizza Hut. Try it on Pizza Hut's new hand-tossed crust. Crispy and golden outside, soft and fluffy inside, finished with garlic parm seasoning. Available for delivery or carryout. Order today at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. Pizza Hut. Feed good times. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our great friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Turn your day into an experience at Road America. Conveniently located in between Madison, Milwaukee, and Green Bay, this legendary track offers more than just racing. Walk the grounds, explore every corner, and watch the action from wherever you want. Kids 16 and under get you in free with a paying adult at the gate and camp on site all weekend long. Moto America is up next, and it's coming May 29th through the 31st. Great food, great views, and non-stop action. Road America, where racing meets outdoors. Check out roadamerica.com to get tickets.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
As we all await the release of Rafa on Netflix, we will get back to football. Or the legal process that is facing Josh Jacobs following his arrest on Tuesday and his release yesterday. Charges could still be brought, obviously.
His release from court, not from the Packers.
From the Brown County Jail, yes.
There you go.
I know
how things can get clipped, and I just
figured,
wanted to clarify.
that's good. I appreciate you looking out for me there. Yes, the Packers have not done anything with Josh Jacobs in his current status as a member of the Green Bay Packers football team. But Matt LaFleur, preemptively, some might say in a manner that was clearly well thought out ahead of time, so you can prepare for these types of things. Matt LaFleur, before any questions were even asked, made his position, not that that stopped the questions from being asked, but made it clear where he stood on discussing the Josh Jacobs situation, and then deflected multiple questions before we got to football. Here is how, via Packers.com, our back and forth with Matt LaFleur went to start out yesterday in the aftermath of the Josh Jacobs situation.
There's going to be a lot of questions about Josh. I'm going to stick with the statement that we put out as an organization and just let the process play out.
And as far as football goes, do you have to prepare for the possibility that you might be playing some of the season without him, especially this time of year?
Well, I think a lot's going to happen between now and then.
Have y'all had any communication with him the last 3 days? Or?
Yeah, respectfully, I'm not going to elaborate on anything.
Yeah, how do you feel about that position in general?
Well, I mean, I like the guys that we have, but certainly you can never have enough, that's for sure.
Are there team standards that you enforce regardless of legal matters?
Oh, always. We always have high standards here, but, I think our guys have done a really good job over the course of at least my time here. I think Goody and his staff do a great job of valuing character and bringing in, really good people.
Matt, just in terms of preparing for the season, when do you need a resolution on this to move forward as a team?
Yeah, I can't really. We're going to let that process play out. I can't really comment on that.
How was it sort of addressed with the team, just the whole system?
I'm going to keep that between myself and the team.
Matt, you know Josh better than all of us here do combined, probably. What was your reaction when you heard this?
Respectfully, I'm not going to comment on that, Bill.
So that was about 90 seconds of questions and quasi-answers between
I actually
the media.
felt like that was respectful to both
I did too. Yeah, I had no problem with how he handled it. Not at all.
And he said respectfully, but it was actually like a meaningful respectfully. Like that was a really
respectfully. You're kind of a jerk, right? What you could put that in front of her. No offense intended.
Yeah, but I think in this case,
yes,
think it was
I agree.
legit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I like that.
So again, he did exactly what he needed to do there. I know there were a few reporters who remarked after the district attorney's statement came out during practice, and early in practice, like mere minutes after LaFleur had finished that. There were a few folks that thought, well, you can open the locker room now, right? He hasn't been charged. That did not end up happening. We did not talk to players yesterday. I think there were some differing opinions even inside the building on whether that was necessary. But we will hopefully get another opportunity to talk to players about things not Josh Jacobs related. We did talk to Matt LaFleur about a variety of topics that were not Josh Jacobs related. That we have some of those clips ready to go that we will get to coming up. But Tausch, let's talk a little bit about position, because one of the questions there, and I think Matt's answer was, look, I think a lot is going to play out between now and later, is where they stand at running back. I think I saw people conjecturing that the Cardinals want to move one of their running backs.
And Kamara might be available. I've seen a lot of stuff that's been floated. Sure.
And look, if we're being honest, because we had this conversation during the offseason with Josh Jacobs' contract the way it was, it felt like it wasn't a slam dunk necessarily that he would return this season, right? I mean, coming off an injury, a year older, but then they let Emmanuel Wilson walk, and they made it very clear, Goody made it very clear that he wanted Josh Jacobs on this football team. So I don't expect them to make a move today, tomorrow, next week. But how do you view their depth chart with, as I said, a guy who's played in one game out of a possible 36 in 2 years, and a guy in Chris Brooks who I think you and I agree is the kind of guy you want on your team because of what he does on special teams and on third down, but he carried the ball 27 times all of last season. Emmanuel Wilson carried the ball 27 times in the one game he started in Josh Jacobs' place. So your options, as of this moment, are limited at running back.
They are, but again, Josh Jacobs was a high pick, Alabama guy. You want to have someone with a big-time pedigree in your room. But for the most part, most of these guys that end up becoming really good running backs in this league are mid to late round picks that have had nice college careers, and they just find the right fit. And most of that comes back to the system and the group in front of them, the O-line. There are freaks, JT and Saquon, and you could say Josh. And then there's Aaron Jones types, which is, I think, what the Packers are hoping one of these guys could be. Now, Marshawn Lloyd was picked pretty high, and what was he, a third-round pick?
Yes.
And it just hasn't worked. That doesn't mean it can't still, but I would not bank on him being the guy. And the great thing about it is, from a running back standpoint, you want to have somebody that knows your system, understands your guys, reads it. And, the coaches have a good understanding of what their skill sets are, what they run better. But this is a position that you can figure things out and there's a lot of opportunities to find that next guy. You have some young players here that could be that guy. And there's also a ton of veteran players that if something does come of this Josh Jacobs situation, and you have to, there are guys that will be available. There are guys that will be available for next to nothing in August. There's players out that aren't in the league currently that could come in. But obviously, you decided you wanted to keep Josh Jacobs another year. You're expecting him to be that bell cow guy, and it would be a big blow to this room that is full of inexperience and full of we don't know. But I always caution fans. We all get caught up, especially at that spot, in names. I don't want an old guy that's been through it and is on their last legs. I'm not interested in he was the guy with the Chargers for a while. Austin Eckler.
Yeah, Austin Eckler, yeah.
No, thank you. Now, if Kamara becomes available, that might be something because of what we've seen, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. it's just really difficult. These guys, there's a reason teams don't want to sign 30-year-old running backs. It's really hard to stay healthy and to be as productive as you were. And I am not overly concerned about this. Obviously, I'm much more concerned after hearing the news of what happened with Josh in that situation about that room. But prior to that, I just think this is one of those positions that I think you can find guys and you can find really good football players that can fit and fill a role, maybe not to the degree of a star running back, but someone that can be incredibly productive and do a nice job for your football team.
All right, we'll get to some of the other topics that Matt LaFleur did
You're
address.
not concerned. Where is your concern level? Like that, of all the position groups, I mean, if I'm power ranking where my concern level is for groups, wide receiver would be no higher than
Whoa. Let's do that next.
running back. Okay, let's do it.
We will power rank our concern levels on the. I would say this. It's in my top three or four. 3 or 4. It's not number one. Not even close.
It's not
to
one or 2
one.
for me either to tease it. Correct.
We'll get to that coming up. What is number one is Associated Bank. They've got all kinds of evidence that they are number one when it comes to customer service. The awards are in the trophy case in their downtown Green Bay branch that I go to all the time. But, hey, awards is great. That's great. But what you really want are perks that come with your checking account, right? Whether it's Packers checking or Badgers checking. And right now it's Brewers season, and the perks are all over the place with the power of the Brewers checking account from Associated Bank. 20% off at the Brewers team store when you show your Brewers card. Up to 50% off home game tickets all season long exclusively for Brewers checking account customers. Express entry into that Associated Bank entrance at AmFam Field. Pre-sale access to concerts and non-baseball events at AmFam Field. And, of course, the savings both on the famous racing sausages, run and walk, and on the Brewers Baseball Academy registration. So go to associatedbank.com/Brewers like I do every day to tell you about these great perks to find out more. More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is our crew.
Pitch and a high fly ball deep left field. This ball's way back and way gone. Wild Bill, a 3-run shot.
We are Madison's home of the Brewers. 100.5 ESPN. You rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Riley Yauk. 4 kickoff times have been updated for Wisconsin football's 2026 slate, as announced by the team Wednesday afternoon. The Badgers season opener at Lambeau against Notre Dame is now officially at 6:30 p.m. on NBC. Week 2 versus Western Illinois will start at 6:15 on the Big Ten Network. Week 3 against Eastern Michigan will begin at 11:30 a.m. on Peacock. And finally, the Axe game against Minnesota will be in prime time on Black Friday, 6:30 on NBC.
At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love with 0% financing options available. PellaWI.com.
Mark Toscher here, and as we count down to the official start of summer in Wisconsin, you know what beverage you'll find in my hand when enjoying some time outdoors: the cool, refreshing taste of an ice-cold Coors Light. At a baseball game in Milwaukee, grilling in the backyard, out on the golf course, every experience goes from good to great with a Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light. Coors Light is brewed with the 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's actually made to chill. The mountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans turn blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection, which, besides the refreshing taste, is my favorite thing about drinking Coors Light. Refreshingly cold and only 102 calories, Coors Light is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, a Golden, Colorado.
Vortex Golf makes rangefinders for serious golfers who need an accurate number every time. With 3 options, the Blade, Blade Slope, and Anarch, there's a Vortex rangefinder that fits your game. Crystal clear optics and features like image stabilization keep you steady in big moments. Plus, every Vortex Golf product is backed by a no-questions-asked lifetime warranty. If you're looking for an accurate number every time, Vortex Golf belongs on your bag. Grab yours and everything you need for golf season in Wisconsin at Scheels.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
A strong team makes all the difference, and Everlight Solar just expanded theirs. Everlight now offers roofing and exterior services for homeowners dealing with storm damage. From the first call to the final repair, Everlight quickly handles everything under one roof. When your roof takes a hit, you've got a team behind you. Start today at everlightroofing.com. That's everlightroofing.com. Everlight, powering through any storm. A proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Wilde Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
We'll get to the 10 o'clock hour in a minute and get to a few other topics that Matt LaFleur addressed. Spent some time with our guy Tucker Kraft yesterday during practice. Stood and chatted with him for a while after he'd done his rehab stuff. He does look good. We will hear what Matt LaFleur had to say about him coming up. But speaking of tight ends, I'll be honest, that is on my list. And frankly, it's higher than running back. In terms of concern areas, yeah.
Oh, even after all this, I don't know about that, Jim.
Well, again, am I biased because they should have just kept Chipotle Ben on the roster? Sure. I miss seeing him when I'm getting my honey chicken. But
hey, when you go and get that, do you go a burrito bowl or what are you getting?
I like carbs too much, as you may have noticed. So I'm not giving up my the burrito shell, the flour tortilla. So no,
and
I'm
what
going.
Is that? Because they charge for everything now, right? You get guac, they throw that on. Like, it used to be you throw all those fixins in, and it was part of the deal. Not anymore, right?
I don't like guacamole, so I don't know if that's being charged extra. I do know that you get charged extra for queso, but still. Pretty good bargain if you ask me. I enjoy that. That's
really.
I wish they had ice cream though. All right, so number 4 is running back. Number 3 is tight end. Number 2 is corner, only because Damani Jackson did not practice yesterday. I don't know what his issue is, but there's nothing worse. Well, I mean there are. There's
writing
plenty of
an
things
article,
worse.
promoting
But when you write about a guy. You want him to then be part of the activities, and he wasn't. You know, when you write about Mr. August, when the Packers are playing in Madison, and Matt Hasselbeck picks up the newspaper and sees Mr. August splashed across the front page of the Sports, and then goes out and plays awesome against the Broncos, hey, this is what we're looking for, right? That's what you're hoping happens. Damani Jackson was among the players who did not participate in yesterday's practice. And number 1 is still offensive line. I love Joe Thomas. I think the world of him. His opinion on Jordan Morgan certainly carries weight with me. Yesterday, Darian Kennard was at right tackle because Zach Tom is not participating. as he comes back from the patellar tendon surgery he underwent. Didn't have Donovan Jennings or whatever Goody called him at the draft. Donovan Johnson or Dominique Jennings, I think he
just
called
call
him.
DJ.
That'd make it easier for everybody. I don't know what the Jagger bomb is going to be this season. I'm leery still, despite Joe Thomas's rave reviews. I'm still uncertain about Jordan Morgan, and I'm still uncertain about their depth. So those are my areas of concern, power ranked from 4 to 1.
Yeah, I'm only going 3, and running back is 3, corners 2, and O-line is 1. So I don't know how anyone, including people over in that building, aren't concerned. Doesn't mean they're not going to be good. Doesn't mean they can't be a lot better. But there's got to be a concern, especially depth-wise, and really how many of these guys are going to be able to do the job on a consistent basis for 17 weeks. So O-line is definitely 1. No cornerback is 2. That you're going to need someone to emerge, and whether that's Valentine emerging as being a full-fledged corner, a guy that's going to be trusted to make tackles, which right now, or at least at the end of last season, that was not the case. I'm still, and I know Keyshawn is there, kudos to him.
Mm-hmm.
What's his, and I don't want you to do this right now, but I'd be curious, his workout bonus is pretty substantial, I would think.
$200,000 or $250,000.
I don't think you want to just leave that laying around, so I understand that. But that position, I think, still is a question mark and is a concern. And now with the Josh Jacobs legal issues that he's dealing with, and even if he's not, a lot of question marks there, because I do think they're not banking on Marshawn Lloyd, but I think there's certainly, I'm very surprised with Josh Jacobs' age and with the fact of where his contract is, that I thought for certain they might take a flyer on a 4th or 5th round pick, and they must not have liked someone enough to do that, to kind of put him in that position. I really felt like that was a spot, especially when they let Emmanuel Wilson go, that the Packers would address.
That's what I was going to say.
They didn't. So concern level is a 3 when it comes to the running back spot. Those are my top 3 concern level spots.
Don't you just wonder if there's more to the story of why you wouldn't bring, like, you developed Emmanuel Wilson. Like, he was a Division II, tiny school player who you signed as an undrafted free agent. He is one of your success stories. And unless he completely overestimated his market, I mean, what he ended up taking from the Seahawks, who, by the way, drafted a running back in the 1st round, having let Kenneth Walker III depart, and they've got a bunch of other guys that are vying for spots as well. I was surprised that they didn't bring him back on a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. I mean, he started 1 game last year for them, and he ran for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And regardless of what has transpired in the last several days, and that's what leads people to speculate, well, maybe he was one of the people who was disgruntled, who felt like, I should be getting more opportunities, which, quite frankly, based on what he did, when he did get opportunities, seemed like a reasonable thing to feel if you were him. But nevertheless, he is a member of the Seattle Seahawks, at least for now, and we will see what the Packers do at running back. But it definitely feels like they are light there. They do have Pierre Strong, who played with Tucker Kraft in college. So shout out to Jackrabbit Mama and the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. By the way, have you seen Coach X schedule release?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I was
phenomenal.
actually hoping, I was thinking about sneaking out there Thanksgiving weekend. But that's not going to happen now because the Badger schedule came out yesterday, and we now play on a Friday rather than a Saturday. And I knew that was probably going to be the case, but yesterday confirmed it.
And I learned this from our buddy Kelly Call, who I was corresponding with yesterday, not about when Murder, She Wrote airs, because he's not at CBS anymore. But there are no weekends on the schedule, at least based on his review, where the Badgers and the Packers both play at home the same weekend, all season long.
Well, in fairness, we have a bunch of Thursday, Monday, Wednesday games this year. So it limits kind of where you're at.
Certainly a factor. Speaking of factors, I don't know if you're wearing one today because you're only in a T-shirt, but when you don a hoodie, I know that it is obviously an Iron Jock hoodie.
Lightweight hoodie, heavyweight hoodie, T-shirts, socks, hats, they got it all. Iron Jock is the best. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every kind of workout gear. There is nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel, built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria. And at this weather now, getting all muggy and hot, you know you need it. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock will keep you dry, comfortable, and confident with their silver ion technology woven into every thread, hunting down and killing 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up. Shop now at ironjock.com. That's ironjock.com.
The 10 o'clock hour will start with an update on Tucker Kraft. That starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tosher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Brewers notched another sweep as they battled adversity to defeat the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday by a score of 2-1. Cards pitcher Dustin May had a no-hitter going through 7 innings before a leadoff double from Garrett Mitchell kicked off the Cruz rally. This was followed by Luis Rengifo's bunt single until eventually Christian Yelich tied the game at 1. And this was followed by an error by Mason Wynn. That scored the go-ahead run. Trevor McGill shut the door, and that was all she wrote on the comeback Cruz win. The Brewers are now 20-7 in their last 27 games and have a 4.5-game lead in the National League Central. Crew gets an off day before heading to Houston for a 3-game set with the Stros. Love to see that. OTAs continue for the Green Bay Packers. We'll tell you all about them. Injury update from Matt LaFleur coming your way next.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with Tucker Kraft, who he feels great. He looks great. He is great. He is very confident that he will be ready to go when the season begins. The question is more what his training camp will look like. But watching him move and just chatting in a friendly manner, not in an interview manner, with him while we were standing on the sideline yesterday. I think I'm not telling you who to draft in your fantasy draft, and this is not brilliant insight because I am not a fantasy expert, but he seems like a pretty good bet, especially considering how much they want him on the field. And I've mentioned this stat before, but he played more snaps than Luke Musgrave did in 8 games than Luke Musgrave played in all 17 games. Luke Musgrave stayed healthy for the entire season last year. And Tucker Kraft missed half the season.
So he's a low snap count guy, Musgrave.
He's comparatively speaking for certain. But Matt LaFleur, speaking about Tucker Kraft, I thought he was as positive as one guy could be about a player coming off of an ACL tear. Here is Matt LaFleur.
Tuck looks great right now. I mean, it's you want him out there. He looks so good. You want to put him out there, but certainly we're still early in that process, and hopefully he'll be ready to go either by training camp or early in training camp.
So he feels like, in talking with Tucker, I think he feels good about being ready for training camp. I'm sure they will have him on a pitch count because that would be the prudent thing to do. But he feels really good, and watching him, we're not allowed to film players doing rehab, but if we were, I think you would have watched him and thought, oh, he looks really good, if we had shared some videos. So that's encouraging. We'll talk about Micah Parsons in a second. But Tausch, look, this is one of those questions that I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask you it anyway. You've got Jaden Reed back healthy. You've got Christian Watson healthy. You've got Matthew Golden saying, at least to the coaches, we didn't get to talk to him yesterday, obviously, that he was thinking too much out there and he was playing slowly as a rookie. So now he feels much more comfortable and feels like he can play at the proper speed. And now you're adding back Tucker Kraft, who I would argue for much of the season was your best and most versatile offensive weapon. What does having Tucker Kraft back with that threesome as your top 3 wide receivers mean for this offense?
Yeah, he's your best player on offense. So he's proven that over the course of last year until he got hurt. And I think it's been a while since we've had a tight end that is as dual threat and as dynamic as Tucker is. So I think, just making sure that he's healthy and he's ready to roll. There's no doubt. I don't think anyone had any questions about the veracity of how he was going to rehab his knee. And now the question is, on my end, thinking, does he get a new deal done before camp? And I would think he will. I think Goody has been very adamant that he's a priority. I would think Tucker would love to have a new contract before the season starts, and I think he should be the highest paid tight end in the NFL when he gets that new contract. So hopefully all of those things can happen, and I think you're not going to – that's one of those where you just get that done and you're going to be happy in 2 years because there are going to be other players that are going to get paid more, and Tucker's going to go about his business and do his job at a high level. So no worries at all there. I think he needs to be the focal point of this offense. But you get between him and Christian Watson, that's my starting point. And then if others emerge and if Matthew Golden takes this big jump, which we all hope he does, he gets a bunch of opportunities too. Those are the guys that I'm looking at saying, boy, I don't know how I'm going to get – I want defenses to say, I don't know who's getting the ball. I don't know who to double. I don't know who to take it away from. But if I'm looking at it when it's a third and you got to have it, I'm not letting Tucker Kraft beat me. I'm going to say Christian Watson or Golden beat me. I'm not letting Tucker Kraft – he's not a bullseye guy yet. I don't think defenses are saying, oh, my gosh, we have to – but I'm fairly certain they're not going to just say, well, we'll just figure it out. They're going to have to go into games with plans to, all right, we're not going to let Watson over the top. And you know what that does? That makes the middle of the field more available. That makes some of those intermediate routes easier. And that's why that combination is why I'm very excited if both are healthy for a full season. That's why I think this could be a rocket ship waiting to go. And again, another reason why I think Jordan Love is destined to have a big boy season.
one of the things that we were talking about is the snap count thing. And he wants to be on the field as much as possible, which not all players do. But he was joking about how he'll tap his helmet, and John Dunn, the tight ends coach, will see him and say, no, we need you for this one. And then they're going to throw a screen to him in the flat. Like, do you have to be – you had 2 ACLs. Do you have to be in any way a little bit once the season starts? Obviously – I'm not saying it's easy to be managing his workload in training camp, but it's certainly commonplace. When you have a player, I remember the coaches talking about Ahman Green the same way, right? Like, you didn't ever want to take him off the field because he was a big play waiting to happen, right? You blocked for him on like a 90-yard touchdown run. Like,
98.
Is there a we have to be smart about a guy that if he could play all 70 snaps, he would, coming off of an ACL?
No, let's be dumb. Of course you're going to be smart. Yeah.
Well, so what's the percent? I guess what I'm saying is what percentage, because he wants to be out there. You want him out there. You have to protect him against himself. So what's realistic and what's smart to do there?
Yeah, I think training camp, you're going to be very smart. You know, back in the old days, you didn't do double days coming back from an ACL. Even then, when it was do whatever we need to do, we would practice once a day, and then you'd, ice down and you'd take the afternoon. So you don't want to over stress anybody that's coming back from a major injury. But if he gets through camp and he feels good, I want him out. If there's 70 snaps, I want him out there for 68. I'm not going to sit there.
That doesn't sound smart.
No, it's very smart. It's smart to have great players on the football field. And once you're out there, he's going to be your best blocking tight end. He's going to be your best receiving tight end. And if you get a lead and you can rest guys, great. But if your game is going, I want Tucker Kraft on the field every snap. So he's going to be on track. And if he starts training camp practicing and he's doing, even if he does just individual for a stretch and then he gets into doing some 11 on 11, awesome. At some point you take the training wheels off and you're like, let's go. And that, I have no problem with that being up at the Metrodome or the US Bank or whatever they call that place now, and you let him rip. So 50 snaps, if you feel good about 50, great. If you start with 50, I remember we thought, Micah Parsons, we're going to put him on a pitch count. He blew through the pitch count. So you want your great players, when they're cleared and healthy to go play, because you never know when that moment could happen where he's not able to play. And I understand your helicopteriness and say, well, you're going to do this. Yeah, training camp, I'm on board with you on it. But for regular season football games, no. You're cleared. You feel great. You go play.
Speaking of Micah Parsons, Matt LaFleur said that Micah is, quote, doing great. He was not there yesterday. He and Josh Jacobs were the only 2 players who we didn't see there yesterday. But LaFleur said he will be back in Green Bay shortly. Asked if Micah would start camp on the PUP list. Said, I would anticipate that, is what Matt LaFleur said. Yeah, that I think that makes sense. I would be curious to see what his timeline looks like in terms of participating. We were talking about it amongst ourselves yesterday on the sideline. I think he will probably be taken off the PUP list during training camp and do some individual work. And while he may not play, they will carry him on the 53 and just have him be a game day inactive. Because even with the rule change this past offseason with the PUP list, where you could start practicing after missing 2 games, but you still have to miss 4 before you can play, I think they want him to be able to ramp up more effectively than that. I think he probably is off the PUP list, but not playing yet before the end of camp. Do you think that's unrealistic for me to think?
No, he's a freak, and I'm sure he's attacked his rehab the same way Tucker has. And I would anticipate a lot of times you're fine with, okay, you get 4 weeks and then we'll start ramping you up. We all know when that Bear game is. We all know that that's going to be something. And I think prior to that, if you can get him out on the field, a lot of times these roster spots are sacred, and especially game day actives. I get all that. Micah trumps everything on that. If he can get 10 snaps to build up, to go and play so he's ready to go by week 5 or 6 and full tilt, I'm great with it. So I would think you're going to have him in a very nice training camp where it's not going to be very taxing, and you'll start seeing that ramp up about mid-August. And I wouldn't be shocked. Would you be shocked if he's playing in the opener? I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be shocked.
To know, surprised, yes.
Well, potato.
What I was not shocked by was my new car loan from UW Credit Union and the great rate that I got as a UW Credit Union member.
Oh, you're a UW Credit Union member? So am I. And for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach all of your financial goals. You got cheddar on your mind? UW Credit Union can help. No monthly fee checking and great rates. Jason just talked about that. Will let you keep more of your cheese. UW Credit Union is your location for home loans as well. With their experts, a great loan at a great rate is never far from home. Join today at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio. The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
But I was impressed by several of them.
You're impressed by everything.
I love life. It's amazing what people do.
There is nothing that you see that you wouldn't go, oh, that's pretty cool.
That's not a bad way to live, though.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery. Live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love, with 0% financing options available, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free at-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer expires May 31st, 2026.
My name is Zach Lind. I'm a podiatric surgeon at Stoughton Health. What brought me into podiatry specifically was a lot of injuries growing up. I skateboarded a lot, played hockey, so I was kind of always injured, a lot of heel pain, a lot of ankle sprains, so I had seen a local podiatrist quite frequently. What I focus on mainly in practice is a lot of the elective bunions, hammer toes, flat foot reconstruction, high arch reconstruction. We do a lot of ankle fractures, fifth met fractures, so Jones fractures, Liz Frank injuries, Achilles ruptures.
Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com.
Since 1956, Hallman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Hallman Lindsay has grown over the years to 27 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Hallman Lindsay has the paints you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Hallman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. But you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a legendary group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 5th through the 7th with an exciting team competition at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Little Big Town with special guests Randy Houser and May Estes. Friday, June 5th at Breeze Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Hello, this is Jason.
And Rochelle.
We're co-founders of Sauna Day, Wisconsin's first thermal bathhouse in downtown Madison.
We built Sauna Day after feeling how communities around the world use heat, cold, and rest to support physical, mental, and social well-being.
Our goal is to make contrast therapy simple and enjoyable.
Think sauna, steam, cold plunge, rest, and repeat.
Open 6 days a week, 7 to 9. Come try Sauna Day today.
Sauna Day, proven to raise vitality and designed to feel good.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Questions in, Tausch, to Matt LaFleur under the odd circumstances of cars driving by in the background while we were talking to him outside the Don Hudson Center and Ray Nitschke Field. One of them was about this year one nonsense, and I understand it's not nonsense, but when we don't get a lot of specifics, I got Gabe of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy compiling a list trying to discern what exactly it means. I think I helped him in that endeavor, but I'm not sure. We'll get to that exchange with Matt LaFleur coming up. But first, the other thing that I wanted to ask about, and he was asked initially by someone else about moving on from Brandon McManus. And let me be clear, I am not saying that Brandon McManus is Adam Vinatieri or Jan Stenerud or any of the great kickers in NFL history, and he certainly wasn't great in the Bears playoff game. He missed 3 kicks, which would have accounted for 7 points in a game that they lost by 4 points. He called it an embarrassment of a performance. It wasn't Matt LaFleur that called it that. Brandon McManus said that Brandon McManus had a embarrassment of a performance. So I am not here to say he should still be on the team. What I am here to say is that I don't understand that if you want to get a rookie kicker ready for the pressures that come with being an NFL kicker, the pressure of competing in training camp feels like one way you can do that. So here's what I asked Matt LaFleur, and here's how he answered the question when it comes to Trey Smack, Brandon McManus, and I suppose to some degree Lucas Havrisik.
Competition is a bedrock of what you've done around here. Did Brandon ask to be released? And why wouldn't you want them to compete to steal Trey against competition? What's the upside of that?
Yeah, I think we were just trying to put Trey in the best position possible moving forward, and he's going to get the bulk of it.
Tausch, translate that for me. He's going to get the bulk of it, so let's be honest. That answer basically says that he ain't really competing with Lucas Havrisik either. Not that we didn't know that already, but Lucas Havrisik is basically there so he doesn't have to kick every single kick, right?
Yeah, it's I always tell you guys, it's not about what they say, it's about what they do. It's about actions. It's not about, thoughts and everything else. And the actions of trading picks to get a kicker and drafting him told you everything you needed to know. If they had picked him up as an undrafted guy, I think that this is probably a whole different conversation. Still viewing it from the perspective of they want to get a young kicker that they can count on being their guy for a while. So had McManus made all those kicks and done all that, I think he's still on this team. But
agreed.
Postseason football changes the way people are viewed and how they're paid and how, I guess, just the job security part of it. He had a bad year last year, and I know he made 30 straight kicks or whatever that line was. It was just a choppy year for Brandon. And when you're a veteran kicker who is being paid, he's not top kicker, but he was being paid well, you have to be more consistent and better and trusted in big moments. And I think the Packers lost that trust. That's why they went and made this move. They obviously like this kid from Florida, but they're going to find out. And we'll see if he's going to be up to the challenge, because this isn't an Anders Carlson situation. And Matt LaFleur was blunt. Basically, he just told you, we want Trey Smack to be our kicker, and we're putting him in the best position. I think there is a part of it where you don't want to have someone overshadowing this young man's development. But in the same respect, kicking is a heck of a lot different than being an O-lineman or even a quarterback. This is it, man. There's no, well, you were close. Oh, you just missed. Nobody cares, man. You either make it or you don't. This is about as zero sum of a position in the NFL as you can have. And I just hope that this young man is up to the task very quickly. He is not going to – there's not a ton of grace that kickers get. I don't care where you draft them. You're missing kicks and costing football games. You can't look at your guys in the locker room and say, well, we just got to let him grow. No, I ain't interested as a 7-year, 8-year veteran saying, well, I hope Johnny can certainly make these kicks. I'm saying now we got 3 losses, and that's going to cost us a division. Now all of a sudden we're a 7 seed. I don't know how many years I have left in this. It's a delicate line, and it's a bold move doing what the Packers did, and we'll see if it pays off.
So, all right, you make really good points there. Let me just ask you one follow-up. If you argue constantly, and I can hear good old Kevin Green in my head, iron sharpens iron.
Is he a
why
pirate?
not compete?
Is Kevin Green a pirate?
No, that was not what I meant. But he did have a brusque voice. Why not have him compete? What is the upside? What do you see? Because that was the question I know there's more words in front of it, but I finished with, what is the upside of not having him compete? How do you view that? Having competed yourself.
How did he answer?
His answer, which, again, I did not find ultra convincing. His answer was, we were just trying to put Trey in the best position possible moving forward, and he's going to get the bulk of the work. So I guess his answer was that he needs the extra kicks, and they don't want to be splitting kicks. Feels like to me you can have a period that goes an extra 3 minutes and have both of them kick each day, or you can have them alternate days, because you don't want him wearing out his leg either. That's why you're keeping Lucas Havrisik. So what's the upside of not having him compete for Trey Smack?
I think the upside is you are putting a ton of confidence in saying you're our guy. And there's a lot of times that's important too. We've seen that in the quarterback spot where Jim Harbaugh has been great at saying, especially when he's out in San Francisco, just saying, you're our guy. And we're going to go through the ups and downs with you. And for most positions, that's fine. You can do that. Kicking, you can't. You can't go through a ton of downs as a kicker. And especially as a young rookie, if he starts out and misses a couple kicks, man, the noise is going to get loud. And then I'm not sure you're doing right by Trey. So you're doing right by Trey by giving him this opportunity, no doubt, but he's got to take advantage of it. If he doesn't, you better have a backup plan in place. So competition is always good. I think it does. Iron does sharpen iron, but I think there is a How do you balance that with keeping and growing someone's confidence? This guy sounds like he is a confident young man. Love that. As long as you can hold it. Confidence is super easy when you're the man and when you don't have anybody pushing you and you're making kicks and things are good. How do you bounce back when your confidence gets rattled? I don't know the answer to that. They don't either. But they want to give him this opportunity to say, hey, man, it's yours, baby. Let's go. We're with you. They did that with Narveson. They've done that with Anders. Kicking is different than these other spots, and that's why I don't mind. I'm sure there's more to this story. Money, and McMahon is probably wanting a different opportunity where he feels like he can have the job or he can pick and choose where he wants to be. But from this kid's perspective, man, it's going to be a pressure cooker. This isn't going to make it easier for him. That pressure is still going to be rifling high. And he's going to have to be up to the task. And obviously the Packers feel like he is, or they wouldn't have made this move.
We will get to the other question that I asked Matt LaFleur coming up. I know at least one of our teammates is on a vacation right now, on a lovely trip. Jesse Nelson, hope you're enjoying yourself. But you don't need to hop on a plane or board a cruise ship to feel like you've escaped. You can stick around Milwaukee and just swing in to Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. The biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites that are perfect for a weekend reset, a date night, or celebrating something big. And if you are hungry, you've got so many great options to choose from, whether it's Dream Dance Steakhouse, the Marketplace, Rockin' Brews, Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, Cream City Coffee Company, food and drink specials that are happening all the time. And if you're planning a wedding, a birthday, or an anniversary, well, you've got the best event spaces possible to make it unforgettable. So, if you're looking for a getaway, there's no better place than Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Elite play, luxury stay, bet on flavor. More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Have you noticed all the roofing signs in your neighborhood due to the hail damage?
Most of those asphalt roofs have to be replaced.
Most metal roofs do not.
So if you're tired of yard signs and replacing shingles,
consider a Suita metal roof.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Suita. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Suita metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Suita Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need. Brewers baseball is back, and there's only one way to celebrate, with a Surfside iced tea and vodka, or a Surfside lemonade and vodka. Smooth, refreshing, and made for game day. Surfside is the perfect match for a day at the ballpark or catching the game at home. Surfside is only 100 calories with 0 bubbles, so it goes down easy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
At Associated Bank, we get life gets complicated. So banking, it should be easy to get. That's why our tools speak your language. Automated savings, it's saving automatically for anything. Digital controls, you lose your card, you're still in control. Turn it off, then on, all on the app. And Money Monitor, you know where your money goes, like those long forgotten subscriptions. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Spring is here. Time to get growing at Felly's Flowers and Greenhouse. Felly's has everything you need to bring your garden to life, including the largest selection of locally grown annuals, perennials, vegetable plants, and custom hanging baskets. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting started, Felly's Greenhouse in Fitchburg has the best selection to make your garden bloom. Proudly voted Best of Madison, choose Felly's Flowers as your go-to garden destination. Visit us today and grow with Felly's.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
Discover the all-new TPC Wisconsin, Madison's premier destination for families, women, and golfers of all levels. Fresh off a stunning $30 million transformation, TPC Wisconsin offers more than championship golf. Enjoy a welcoming community with tennis, pickleball, a world-class golf academy, swimming, fitness, and family-friendly activities all year long. Experience the newest TPC golf club in the world right here in Madison. Visit tpcwisconsin.com to explore memberships and schedule your tour today.
I'm Isaac Miller, Wisconsin-born, Wisconsin-built, and proud to be wearing Cardinal white in the future. That's why teaming up with Iron Jock just makes sense. It's the gear that's made for how we live up here. Early mornings, late nights, and putting in that work when nobody's watching. Iron Jock isn't about flash. It's about showing up, staying tough, and representing where you're from. If you're built the same way, you already get it. Iron Jock, Wisconsin grit, every day.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
It's the summer of suspense for Giannis and the Bucks.
Sources tell me the Milwaukee Bucks are fully open for business on trades and offers around Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Follow along right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Continuing with some of the highlights from Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, who met the media yesterday, the only one who met the media yesterday. And we have been talking since the coach's breakfast in Arizona. Next year it's in Florida. About Matt LaFleur's comment about, stripping down the offense and getting back to year one. And I don't feel like we've gotten a lot of clarity on what exactly that means. Fair, Tausch?
Yes, I think that's very fair. Well, in fairness, you haven't talked to anybody, so that's probably why.
Correct. And maybe when I talk to Jordan Love, he'll say something, or Christian Watson, but that did not occur yesterday. So I did ask Matt LaFleur because as you astutely pointed out last week when we had the Meat Santa, Mr. Hall of Fame Farms on, Joe Thomas, he did spend some time with the coaches and their Wagyu, and he did bring up the outside zone run scheme, which led us both to believe, using context clues, that 1 + 1 might equal 2 there, and Joe was talking to the coaches, and maybe they said something about running more outside zone and less duo, which was the blocking scheme that Josh Jacobs has preferred the last 2 years. So I did, in fact, ask Matt LaFleur about the year one conversation. And while it wasn't to the degree of him mansplaining the outside linebacker defensive end thing, he did make a reference to not wanting to give away the playbook. Here is that exchange from yesterday, and we'll get Tausch's thoughts on it.
Going back to the first-year approach to the offseason, besides fundamentals, what else is that entailing? Like, are you looking to get back to more outside zone in the run game?
Well, I'm not going to give all our schematics out, Jason, but no, I think yeah, some of the foundational pieces. I think just kind of zeroing in. We took a long, deep dive of just basically everything we've done over the course of 7 years in the run game, in the pass game, in the screen game, and got rid of some stuff that you think is effective, but when you watch it, it's not quite what you may have thought it was. So it's been a fun off season in that regard, just diving through all the tape, certainly there's things from around the league that you study and then that you want to try to implement. But I think just really taking a deep dive on who we want to be. And one of the things that we continue to talk about with our team, regardless of scheme in all three phases, it's just the style of play. What is it going to look like when you turn on the tape? You can take scheme out of that, just your effort to the ball, guys flying around, playing physical. So that's what we're trying to develop right now.
So if I do say so myself, that's the best answer we've gotten from him on this topic. Now, that may be a low bar to clear.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting.
I was going to say, what was great about that answer? I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
Well, I like the fact that he actually went into how they did, the deep dive to what they've done the last 7 years in the run game, the pass game, the screen game. I also did not hear him deny the idea that they're going to get back to the outside zone scheme, which was a bedrock of what they did when they first got here. At no point did he say, no, it's not, we're not talking about that. It was I'm not going to get into all of our schematics, Jason. So there was nothing there that deterred me from thinking we're going to see more of the traditional run game that is associated with this system. Tausch, what did you take away from that, if anything?
Yeah, I didn't take it as nearly as much as you thought. I thought that was a boring standard quote that he's just that's what I thought. What do you want me to lie? That's what I thought.
No, I definitely don't want you to lie.
I didn't think it was earth-shattering. No,
I don't think it was earth-shattering either. But
this deep dive, he said that he's deep dove in. And my point on this whole thing and why I thought what Joe said was interesting. Now, Joe doesn't cover the team and watch, and pay attention. He's selling beef. So he's out there. So when he was talking about the outside zone, at first I was thinking, well, this is what Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, Sean Mc, that is their foundation going back to Mike Shanahan. That's what they did.
Right, yeah.
And
Super Bowl 32.
A big reason, and to Joe's credit, he called the Matt LaFleur hire, thought it'd be a good hire, and it has been a good hire. But the big thing that separates him and what this offense does that is so good and why everybody is enamored by it is because you marry things up. How many times have we heard him say, marry up those run plays with the pass plays? Because we've gotten into arguments. You brought it up with Matt LaFleur about, well, does it matter if you're running play action pass out of shotgun or not? And of course it does. Like, it doesn't take rocket science to figure that out. And the thing is, you, as a linebacker and his safeties, you're listening and you're watching, does the pad level come down? And they would always teach us as offensive linemen, make sure your helmet's down and you're coming off flat-backed so that they feel and see run. That gets people to suck up. That gets tight ends, running backs, wide receivers open on these play actions. It doesn't take much. A false step by a safety, a step up by a linebacker creates a window behind them to throw the ball. That's what is so great about this offense, and we've gotten away from it. It's been an issue since Josh Jacobs has really taken over running duo and everything else. That's just the reality, and I'm sure if you sit and have a beer with Matt LaFleur and this staff, they'll tell you that. They're not going to tell you in a public setting, and that's kind of what he said. So to get back to that and to have that option of having that hard outside zone and selling it where the quarterback sprints to his spot with the ball out, and all of a sudden these linebackers are, oh, my God, I have to sell out to get there, that matters. And it is an important thing. So if that's what you took from it, which I didn't, but what I did take from what Joe said to us last week, that is something, because that is a shift back to the foundation of what this offense is, which is go all the way back to 1997 and 98 and watch that's what did in the Green Bay Packers defense. That's how Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay and everybody else wants to run their offense, because it makes the job of playing quarterback a heck of a lot easier. And that's where John Elway went from being a great individual talent to being a world champion, is when they implemented that offense.
All right, we're going to shift gears away from the Packers briefly, but I do have a question. Riley, I know you're empowered as the producer of today's program. You're soft launching things for your own program on our program first?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. I'm glad that you. We're like a testing ground for whether this is a topic that's worthwhile for your show. That's a bold strategy, but I'm happy to play along.
Okay, I appreciate it. We'll see.
Well, here's the deal. Riley is 1 for 1. His little SEC Big Ten story, home run. His story about his girlfriend, that good. So he's more than 1 for 1. He deserves this opportunity. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but
we just need to make sure that we're controlling the clock a little bit better than the SEC discussion was controlled yesterday.
I think that's doable.
I think so too. So Riley, why don't you? I'm going to tell people about Steinhafels, and then you can tease us out.
Okay.
Because I know everybody likes to deliver a good tease. I know Tausch, that's one of his highlights of his various shows when he gets to do it. So let me tell you first that if you've been thinking about upgrading your mattress, now is the time with Steinhafels' Memorial Day mattress sale, which is still going on. They've extended it. You can save big on all the top brands, plus take advantage of their 60-month 0% financing. We're talking about up to $1,000 off Tempur-Pedic and Beautyrest Split King adjustable base sets, next level comfort, and Helix Sleep. The award-winning brand is now exclusively at Steinhafels, so you got to try it in store. Don't miss out. Shop the extended Memorial Day mattress sale at Steinhafels, Wisconsin's mattress leader. Riley?
Athlon Sports had Big Ten coaches speak anonymously about every single team in the Big Ten. And the two comments from anonymous Big Ten coaches on Wisconsin really caught my eye, and I don't think Wisconsin football is getting the respect they deserve. We will discuss that next on Wilde Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
This team is going to be better than what they were last year.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
You may have Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, and Tucker Kraft all together for the first time since 2024.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Steinhafels. Shop Steinhafels Memorial Day sale. Get $75 off every $799 plus 60-month 0% financing. Only at Steinhafels and Steinhafels.com.
4 kickoff times have been updated for Wisconsin football's 2026 slate, as announced by the team Wednesday afternoon. The Badgers season opener at Lambeau against Notre Dame is now officially at 6:30 p.m. on NBC. Week 2 versus Western Illinois will start at 6:15 on the Big Ten Network. Week 3 against Eastern Michigan will begin at 11:30 a.m. on Peacock. And finally, the Axe game against Minnesota will be in prime time on Black Friday, 6:30 on NBC.
At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love with 0% financing options available. PellaWI.com.
Mark Tosher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust. There's nothing like a great summer road trip. And whether you're traveling around the state or around the country, it's the time of year to start thinking about your plans to hit the road for a new adventure in the coming months. And with all the things to consider, what to do, how to get there, where you'll stay, the absolute last thing you want to worry about for a summer road trip is car trouble. Make sure your vehicle is ready to take on every potential challenge thanks to the fantastic service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil, and make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on fun and not finding maintenance help during your summer road trip this year. Call Zimbrick Chevrolet to schedule an appointment with their incredible service team or check out their services and schedule an appointment online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just a priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Mark Tauscher here, and your seat at the table just got better at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Return to Hard Rock Casino Rockford's high-limit room, where the odds are in your favor. With enhanced game rules, including blackjack, where the dealer stands on soft 17, you'll enjoy better odds, faster play, and the kind of authentic high-limit action that sets Hard Rock Casino Rockford apart. Visit the high-limit room and rediscover your game on your terms, in your rhythm, and with your edge at Hard Rock Casino Rockford.
This is our crew.
The pitch and a high fly ball deep left field. This ball's way back and way gone. Wild Bill, a 3-run shot.
We are Madison's home of the Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Now, this is not counting as Will Riley, right? This is your, what'd you call this, a soft launch of a topic you'll be addressing on the jump around? Is that accurate?
Yep. Maybe a little more in-depth today on the jump around. That is the plan.
Well, yeah, we're not going to give you the whole show because we're already, obviously, almost 2 hours in.
Exactly.
Where can people catch the expanded edition of this conversation?
They can catch that today at 12:30, just a half hour after Wilde Tausch ends on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, tell us about it. Soft launch your topic here, kid.
But just wait, before you get this, did you open your package up?
No, we're doing that also live on the jump around today to start the show. So right away, folks better join at 12:30, ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee YouTube.
I'm battling here. I'm losing the best stuff of Riley Yauk to jump around and Jason Wilde to Channel 3000. So when's Jesse back?
Next Monday. I believe.
He wants somebody back
Welcome
who doesn't
back.
have any best stuff?
Well, I don't know. But all right, go ahead, Riles. Let's hear your little take here. I'm definitely teased.
All right. So as I teased, Athlon Sports had every coach in the Big Ten comment anonymously on every other team in the Big Ten. Then they had 2 comments per team. And the comments about Wisconsin are particularly scathing, so to speak. This first one, this just sounds like Brett Bielema, who's like frustrated that Wisconsin kicked the tar out of him last year. I feel like this is Brett Bielema. To do a little reading on the radio to sum it up, they scored 81 points in 9 conference games. I don't know who your quarterback is. That speaks to a lot of bigger issues than just the QB position. There are teams in the conference who could not throw a single pass and scored more than 9 points per game. It also speaks to defensively, your ability to make turnovers, and special teams, your ability to make kicks. I thought it was a whole package thing. Basically saying, I don't care that Hunter Simmons was your quarterback. That's a bad excuse. You were just an awful team. Which, sure, Wisconsin was not a great football team objectively last year. They went 4-8. But
how about analytically? How were they analytically?
Analytically, that, in my opinion, look at how they ended the season. Take out Minnesota. That's just ignoring two great ranked wins to conclude the season.
Take out the biggest game of the year, rivalry wise. Here's the deal, Riley. You're a Wisconsin homer.
Yes,
you are a huge
to the nth
fan.
degree.
You have friends. You are awesome for everything about Wisconsin. So I applaud you on that. Objectively looking at it, I can't argue with anything I just heard from Athlon Sports or whoever said that, because we were 135th out of 136 on offense last year. That stinks.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's not good.
That's not scathing. That's reality. So the beautiful part is it's a new year. We have new players. It's a new era. Like we have different opportunities here
Close
to
the
show
gap.
that it's different. But what we did last year on offense was brutal. Like I don't know how defensively, I thought we were pretty good and analytically would back that up. Offensively, I don't care if you look at analytics, if you look at just the bottom line on it, we were not very good. And we turned it over. Like there was nothing that we were really good at. So I don't know. What do you have I guess so I can tune into the jump around at 12:30. How are you refuting anything that was just said right there?
I'm refuting the insinuation that the quarterback had nothing to do with it. The fact that Hunter Simmons, Carter Smith, and Danny O'Neal were your starting quarterbacks for 11 out of the 12 games last year, that's just a footnote in the Badgers season.
Riley, the point that was being made, at least how I read it, and maybe, Jason, you could be an impartial arbiter here. The point is, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. You should be able to score more than 9 points by special teams, defense, especially as good as our defense was, and by running the football. So we had games. I don't know how many games we had with Brooks Bollinger, Mike Samuel, Kavanaugh, whoever it was, where we would throw it 7 or 8 times. And only score 9 points is not good. Like, I don't know how. I'm just curious what hill you're dying on there that you're going to say that's acceptable, because I know nobody else feels that way.
No, it's not acceptable, but I just think that's a massive aspect to overlook.
Oversimplification.
Yes. When I'm just thinking, my mind goes straight to the Iowa game, which was an embarrassment, a debacle.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
But when Hunter Simmons is throwing interceptions on screen passes and your defense has to start its possessions backed up inside its own red zone, like, you're putting your entire team in a difficult spot. Poor quarterback play can sink the whole ship, especially when your offense, it's not the old Wisconsin offense where it's just you only pass it 7 or 8 times. Like, even in the Jeff Grimes offense, you need a viable quarterback to run that system. So when you don't have a quarterback, that really, really hamstrings your offense, in my opinion. And I think it's an oversimplification of the struggles of Wisconsin last year.
There's no doubt it hamstrings it, but that doesn't mean you can't walk. You're saying you can't do anything. No, you can still do stuff. And by the way, you brought in a veteran backup quarterback that you thought could hold down the fort. I don't have any. I don't know how you push back on a lot of the stuff that was said there. I mean, you can, and it is an over. Would we have been better with a starting quarterback that started the year and played? Absolutely, we would have been. That's not the reality of what happened. So the reality is, I think, laid out in a fair way by whoever this coach was that decided to say it. And I would bet if you're asking, and by the way, Wisconsin felt that way because look at you basically revamped the entire group. Quarterback position, O-line, tight ends, like running backs. The entire group is revamped because last year wasn't good enough. There's nothing wrong with admitting things weren't good enough. It's wrong when you put your head in the sand, Yauk style, and say, "Oh, I don't know."
Yauk style.
Like, you got to pull your head up and say, "Yeah, we need to be better. We got to be better here, here, here." And if we're not, we're going to be 135th again. And by the way, we're not going to be 135th again. We will be better. It'll just be to what degree we're going to be better and how guys stay healthy. And there's all of those variables that are fair to point out. But, I mean, last year was tough. Like, let's fess up and say it was not good enough by any stretch of the imagination.
I agree. And I guess the real frustration, when I think about it more, you saying that goes into the next comment, the second comment from a coach saying that, truthfully, I was surprised that both Wisconsin and Maryland decided to run it back with their head coaches. I wasn't really impressed with either one of those teams. It almost felt like they didn't really know who the next guy was going to be, so they decided they'd rather have a year to prepare a move like that. And I guess tying those comments together, it feels like that you're oversimplifying the struggles last year. Therefore, we don't respect Wisconsin. We don't believe they're going to get better. They should have just fired Luke Fickell, blown it all up, started over from scratch. And I don't think that's the case. Like, I still believe that Luke Fickell is a very capable, a very good head coach and can be a great head coach in the Big Ten, and that they're going to be markedly better this year. And that just because last year was such a debacle doesn't mean that there can't be improvement, significant improvement heading into this season.
Yeah, I don't think anybody. I don't know how you. There, I'm in full agreement with you. As far as we will see, I mean, we can't be any worse on offense, and defensively, we were really good last year, like really good. But especially at the end of that season, I thought our defense played their tails off, and I think we're going to be better there. So we'll find out. The thing is, you're 3 years in, and I think that they're looking at this thing as a whole. And as a whole, we've had a couple of really disappointing seasons. And in a business that there is so much change now, I think that's whoever, I don't know who said this. Was this an anonymous coach?
Another anonymous coach, yep.
Yeah.
Jason, sounded like you wanted to jump in there.
I thought you were jumping in there.
I'm impressed. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. I started, and then I thought I didn't know. I thought maybe you had more to say. I'm impressed that Athlon's, unless they're making these up, gets coaches to be this frank about other teams in the conference. They must really have the coaches' trust that they're not going to burn them, and somehow it's going to get out that this was your guy Bielema or Dan Lanning or whoever it might be, right? Like, those are some pretty strong. I was surprised they ran it back with the same coaches. Like, coaches, that is not something that they want to get out there, right? So I'm impressed that they have the trust of these coaches, that they speak that freely on the condition of anonymity to say that. Look, things have not been great for our alma mater. I feel like things will be better this year, and as much as I joke about the rallying cry being lame of close the gap, I think they are going to close the gap. And I think we are going to be feeling better about where they're at, as long as their starting quarterback stays healthy, which, oh, by the way, and I am definitely not here to make excuses for the head coach of the football team, but I don't think that they would have been as bad as their record is if the hand-picked transfer portal quarterbacks that they selected every year had actually been their quarterbacks healthy for the entire season. Is that unreasonable to say?
No, I think it's a fair point, but nobody cares.
You're right. I knew that. So I knew that's what you were going to say too.
Well, they don't. Like, that's
no,
not,
you're right.
Like, you can't make excuses. Like, it's your job to have people in place, and it's one thing to struggle and to lose games. It's another thing to be 135 out of 136. Like, those
Agreed.
those are fair things to compare and contrast. And you're going to lose productivity when your starting quarterback isn't there, unless your starting quarterback isn't very good. So you definitely, and now especially when you're paying, bringing guys in to lead, it's a huge loss. And there was no doubt when that happened in that first game, you're kind of like, oh my God, you could feel it in the stadium, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, all right, well, how do we rebound? How long is he going to be out? All of this stuff. And it just never really was able to regroup. And to their credit, they found a way to win a couple of games at the end of the year that it would have, and especially, and this is where I give Luke Fickell a ton of credit, with this climate of a little more mercurial, where guys aren't here for a long time, that season could have gotten away from that locker room, especially as poor as the offense played and as good as the defense played. Jason, you've been around locker rooms long enough to know when there's one unit that's not holding up their end of the donkey, it gets divisive.
No doubt.
You didn't smell that. You didn't see that. You didn't hear it. I'm sure there was some talk, but there was not. You never saw where a defensive unit that played its tail off, and Riley brought it up earlier, the Iowa game, that would have been a game where you could just say, oh, my God, like, what do we have to do here? And they stuck together and found a way to play strong and win at least a couple of games to finish that season off in a year that nothing really went right.
Well, Riley, how do you feel about your soft launch for it feels like there's some constructive advice from old T that should make the jump around a little bit better.
Yeah, no burying the head in the sand, Yauk style. So I'll keep that in mind.
Use that as a drop.
Yeah, the jump around later today. I'm feeling good. I'm even I'm calibrating some more thoughts for later, so I'm feeling good.
Calibrating is important. All right, we'll get to the 11 o'clock hour, during which Tausch will step out briefly, and then he'll come back. But we've got Will Riley, we've got trivia, and we'll hear again from Matt LaFleur. That's all still ahead. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update, brought to you by the ESPN Wisconsin app. Live streaming of your favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows, easy access to ESPN Madison on YouTube, and daily podcasts so you don't ever miss a second. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today. The Milwaukee Brewers notched another sweep in their belt as they battled adversity to defeat the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday 2-1. Cards pitcher Dustin May had a no-hitter going through 7 innings before a leadoff double from Garrett Mitchell kicked off the Cruz rally and broke it all up. Luis Rengifo fouled with a bunt single before Christian Yelich tied the game at 1. An error by Gold Glover Mason Wynn scored the go-ahead run, and Trevor McGill slammed the door in the 9th to get the save, and that was all she wrote. The Brewers, now 20-7 in their last 27 games, and have a 4.5 game lead in the NL Central. The Crew gets an off day today before heading to Houston for a 3-game set with the Stros. OTAs continue for the Green Bay Packers, and we'll hear about Zaire Franklin coming up next.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
We'll see if Riley Yauk soft launches any other topics for his program a little bit later. The jump around on the ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison YouTube channels. We kick off the 11 o'clock hour by going back to Matt LaFleur, who did discuss a variety of players that were not involved in the Josh Jacobs situation. And one of them was Zaire Franklin, whom the Packers acquired in a trade with the Indianapolis Colts, 2024 All-Pro, down year in 2025, which is why the Colts were ready to part with him, but someone that Brian Gutekunst, the Packers GM, has liked ever since the draft when he came out a number of years ago. Even when he was a special teams guy only for the Colts, Goody liked him. And so he traded Colby Wooden to acquire him and for him to be the starter alongside Edger and Cooper as their two inside linebackers in their 3-4 system. Here's what Matt LaFleur had to say about where Zaire Franklin is in assimilating to the Packers system.
Zaire's been awesome. Just a real leader, an alpha. You can feel him. Does a great job communicating. I think that is, he wears the green dot, and so naturally you're the quarterback of the defense, and I think he holds himself to a high standard, and he holds those around him to a high standard.
The most interesting thing from that, which was not super interesting though, is
green
that
dot.
The green dot. Yep.
Yeah.
Help us understand, even though you weren't a linebacker, why that is so important.
Well, he just said it as being the quarterback or the leader of that group, right? And I think there's kind of that part is incredibly interesting because I think a lot of us are thinking Edgerrin Cooper, right? Put him in charge and let him.
Correct.
I think that kind of tells you how they feel about Zaire. And I think there's, and maybe I'm wrong on this. I was thinking, well, he's still McDuffie. You don't know. I don't know how well Zaire Franklin runs. Is he going to be out on the field? If you green dot somebody, they're going to be out on the field. They're going to be out on the field
right.
on a highly
100% of the time.
Third
right.
down. Yeah, that is an interesting little drop where you got a little knowledge yesterday instead of all this foolishness. That part is interesting. So I think that this signing and the way this played out, and it surprised a lot of us because everything is about getting younger and getting faster. I think the Packers felt like maybe not even as much physically, but we need more dogs. That was all we heard about. Matt LaFleur just kind of let us in as far as alpha. He brought the word alpha up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't usually I think most NFL players are going to be in the alpha category compared to other sides of it. And when you highlight that, it kind of lets you know this is more of a mentality, and he's still a good football player, but I just think Goody felt like we need more of that edge. We need more dogs that can help lead guys into finding ways to win these gritty, tough games. And when you get punched in the mouth, you need to have some guys that are there that'll say, no, we're not laying down. Get your blank up. We have to get off the mat and do it. And that's not saying everybody on that team is like that. But obviously the way the season finished, you took I don't know if you played the game Mike Tyson Punch-Out, Jason.
I did.
Did you play it?
Sega.
Great game. I think it was a Nintendo game, but maybe it was Sega too.
I thought it was Sega. Maybe both.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Nintendo because it was always, everybody wants to fight Mike Tyson. That's your Super Bowl. Well, there's Glass Joe. Remember Glass Joe? It's an easy win. You have that. You can't have Glass Joes. And after the Micah Parsons injury and that day that I think everybody was looking at, Denver game was the tipping point of the season. And unfortunately, it tipped the wrong way. So Malcolm Gladwell is looking at, well, how do you tip it back? How do you get it so it doesn't tip that way? And the way to have it is you have to have a bunch of resilient dogs that are saying, all right, yeah, listen. Oh, it's not fair. We lost our best offensive player. We lost our best defensive player. There's natural excuses that can be written in to say, well, that's just not our year. Aw, shucks. You can't have it. And even though it's probably unfair to say, well, we should still do this, you shouldn't lose 5 in a row. You shouldn't have fallen the way that we did. And that Baltimore Ravens game, I'm certain, left a mark on Brian Gutekunst that is saying, this can't happen. Now, you can get beat. This league, you're going to get beat. Teams are going to beat you. Teams aren't going to bludgeon you on your home turf. That game, I'm certain, probably had a bigger impact than maybe even that Bear game. And Zaire Franklin, I think, is a direct result of what happened in that Baltimore Raven game, saying, this ain't happening again, man. We ain't going to let a team steamroll us for 4 quarters in our building? Nah, we're done with that. I think that's why that trade was made.
First, a correction, because we hold ourselves accountable on this program. It was indeed on Nintendo for Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, no, I'm correcting me.
Oh, you're self-correcting. What the hell is going on here? What, Riley, what is it?
It's after
what
11:15.
am I missing here? Really correcting someone that's not? Oh, wow. Okay.
I did play that on Nintendo. We had Nintendo at home, but then when I was in college, my roommate had Sega Genesis.
That was hockey. Great hockey game.
NHL 96 or 99, whatever it was.
95 was the GOAT. 94 was good.
But the boxing game that we had on Sega Genesis was Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing, the Real Deal Holyfield. So I stand corrected on that. I did a little research there, and I was wrong. But I did play both, and yes,
Who was the
Joe,
big guy you punch
memorable.
his belly and his shorts come down?
I don't remember his name.
Hippo I don't remember, but it's a hippo. Something hippo.
Okay. We'll double check that. Back to Zaire Franklin now that I've corrected myself on Mike Tyson. And I saw a couple of people, I think Aaron and Madison was one of them in the YouTube comments earlier. Does this in any way also help Edgerrin Cooper play more freely because he doesn't have this responsibility of being the green dot guy? I did find myself wondering at times if for Quay Walker it was maybe a burden for someone who had some inconsistency in his 4 years in Green Bay, and if he would have been a little more freely playing if he also didn't have the green dot. Good question from Aaron. Your answer, Tausch.
Yeah, it is a good question. I don't know. I mean, especially as a young player, you just want to go out and play, and you want to just start reacting. You don't want to have to think a ton. So I think it's a fair question. I mean, you should, especially in Quay's case. Now, in Edgerrin's case, I think obviously his first year was marred a little bit with some lineup issues. He wasn't lining up in the right spot and understanding everything because there's a lot of nuance that goes into playing linebacker. You have reads that you need to make. You have to make sure everybody on your team is in the same, you have to get the calls in. You have to make sure everybody is dialed in. So you want those guys to have that freedom to go and roam around and try and make plays. I want my guys thinking strictly about their job and not having to do everybody else's job. And that green dot, you do have to make sure everybody is lined up properly, that they've gotten the call, that they understand what checks need to be made with personnel groupings and with motion and with all those things. So I think it's a great question, and I hope that does free up Edgerrin, but also hopefully Zaire, with the leadership that he showed in Indianapolis, that obviously Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur have wanted to bring in, and now they have in the building. Hopefully Edgerrin Cooper can learn a lot and grow from some of the experiences that Zaire can implement to him.
I appreciate all your insight on that. It was a really good answer for Aaron's question. Meanwhile, in the ESPN Madison YouTube comments, it is a extensive discussion now of your potential opponents in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. This is why I love this show, and I don't ever want you to quit because, first of all, King Hippo
is
your
his name?
Guy. King Hippo. Okay. I'm being told by Joe, hit the belly marked by the X after making the fighter raise his opposite hand from the one he tries to throw a punch will cause him to drop his shorts.
Yeah, you got to keep hitting his belly and his shorts, and he's picking them up, and that's when you knock him out. Because Hippo was the guy you couldn't. Once you knocked him out, it was over. But he was. I think George Foreman is kind of who they compared him to. You're not gonna. You're not knocking him out until you knock him out. Trying to remember Glass Joe.
No, let me help you with this. Unless you like to play this game.
No, I'm kind of just trying to remember There was the one guy that would get up to the top of the screen, and he would kind of shimmy shake down, and then when he would drop it, that's when you catch him with a cross, and you knock his blank out. I don't remember who that is.
So I did not play it enough to remember all these, 30-plus years later. Piston Hurricane from Packer Doug. Glass Joe, German Dude. Now, is that can't be his real title, right?
German Dude?
German Dude. Tokyo Joe.
Yep.
Flamingo Don.
Flamingo Don was the dancer. He would get up to the top of the screen, and he'd kind of, and then you'd have to sit and wait. You'd have to kind of juke him, and then you catch him with that cross, and that would lead to a lot of pain for him.
Okay, now, again, I don't know if this is the technical name of this fighter, Magician Dude. So there must have been a magician of some sort. I don't know if he made himself disappear.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you'd have to wait. Yep, I remember him.
A Bald Bull.
Tough. He was physical.
Yeah, Von Kaiser, I'm being told now, is the German dude, perhaps.
That makes sense.
Apparently, that's from Geriad. Also, apparently, the arcade game, if you went to, say, Aladdin's Castle on the south side of Milwaukee once upon a time, or if you played on your Nintendo system, different opponents. Piston Honda, I'm being told, is the correct name for the Piston Dude. So there are a number of folks in the YouTube comments enjoying this walk down memory lane for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Tausch, another thing we enjoy is when you host with Annex Wealth Management one of your events. Dr. J, not to be confused with Julius Irving or any other doctors. He's obviously great, but you're great too.
You couldn't have set this up any better because people credit Mike Tyson with saying, I'm dead serious, with everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, I don't know if he really came up with that. I think he did. I can think of plenty of times in my past, playing days when we thought one thing was going to happen, but then you got hit with the unexpected. Doesn't matter if you're planning for the big game or maintaining your lifestyle in retirement, you're not always going to be able to see what is around the corner. Stuff's going to happen that you don't expect. But that's why you have the great team at Annex. Your plan can be built to handle that. That's what the experts at Annex Wealth Management do. They're going to help you build a plan. They're going to help you if you get punched in the face by Mike Tyson. They're going to help you about investments. They're going to help you with the whole thing, taxes, retirement, lifestyle. Give them a call today or go to annexwealth.com, click the Get Started button, and get going on planning your future with the great team at Annex Wealth Management. What are the odds of that being the case?
That's awesome. That is unbelievable. I mean,
now, if it only would have said Piston Honda and Glass Joe on there as well, we really would know we're in sync with what Annex Wealth Management is doing.
Apparently, you got to watch out for Soda Popinski.
Oh, Soda Popinski was my favorite character on there. Yep, that's another one.
All right. You go take care of business. We're going to play trivia. Riley, what is today's category for trivia, and what caller would you like?
I'm sad that Tausch will be missing it because yesterday we neglected to do Wisconsin Geography Trivia Wednesday. So we're doing Wisconsin Geography Trivia Wednesday on a Thursday today.
Okay, what caller would you like?
Give me caller number 15, a nice round number.
15. Call it 15 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We play trivia next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Now you know I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. I loved it then, and I love enjoying Pizza Hut, making new memories with my family now. It's also safe to say things were a lot less expensive when I was a kid, and everything seems to be extra expensive right now, except this. At Pizza Hut, you can get a large 3-topping pizza for just $10. You can try it on Pizza Hut's new hand-tossed crust, crispy and golden outside, soft and fluffy inside, and finished with a garlic parm seasoning. Available for delivery or carryout. Order today at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. A great meal to feed the whole family for just $10. Yep, that still exists. Feed good times with a large 3-topping pizza for just $10 right now at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Life moves fast. Your car should move with it. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, they've got a vehicle and payment options that fit every stage of your journey. Just graduated? Start smart in a Chevy Trax. Stylish, efficient, and budget-friendly. Growing your family? The Equinox gives you the space and versatility you need. And when life gets even bigger, the Traverse or Tahoe is ready for it all. Kids, carpools, and road trips. Visit them today in Sun Prairie or online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
Dealing with storm damage? That's never fun. That's why homeowners are turning to Everlight Solar for roofing and exterior repairs done right. They handle the entire process, from insurance claims to fixing your roof with one trusted team. Less stress, faster solutions, and a home that stays protected from the elements. If your roof took a hit, Everlight's got you covered. Visit everlightroofing.com to get started today. That's everlightroofing.com. Everlight, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Looking to buy your next home or ready to sell and move on to bigger and better things? What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Spring into action this season and let's get housed. Nobody knows what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Wilde Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Glass Joe and Soda Popinski back with you on Wilde Tausch. Riley, you have no idea what any of us were talking about there, right?
See, I know Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I think I played it once or twice, maybe. And I've heard the character names before, but no, not nearly the extensive knowledge and how to defeat all these guys. No, nothing like that, unfortunately.
It appears that someone in the YouTube comments has changed their screen name now to Soda Popinski. So there you have it. In the meantime, let's play some trivia presented by Cousin Subs, Iron Jock, and Vortex Golf.
Wilde Tausch Trivia is presented by Vortex Golf, rangefinders you can bet on. By Iron Jock, no stink, just performance. And proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com. And by Cousin Subs. Have a grad to celebrate? Purchase $30 in Cousin Subs gift cards and receive a free 7.5-inch sub. Cousin Subs, they believe in better.
Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Tucker in Wausau. Tucker, good morning. Welcome to Wilde Tausch. How you doing?
Morning. Doing well. Good morning.
Awesome. Happy to have you. Now, Riley, did you formulate these questions yourself, or did you take after your mentor, Jesse Nelson, and pawn them off on someone else and get them to do your work for you?
No, these are all mine. So all the blame or credit goes to me.
Credit, yeah. Credit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tucker, you can be the judge of how good these questions are, and we'll see how you fare. It is Wisconsin Geography Wednesday on a Thursday. Question 1 is this. Escanaba River State Forest, located across Lake Michigan from Door County, is closest to which Wisconsin city? Is it Eau Claire, Green Bay, or Tausch's undisclosed location?
That would be Green Bay, B.
Indeed, it would be. Now, what I'm seeing here is that Riley intends to not only take question 2, but use one of my signature trivia phrases.
Oh, I didn't even do that intentionally, but let's do it. Latitudinally. Which of these cities is located farthest north? Is it Fenimore, Platteville, or Cuba City?
Well, I know it's not Platteville. Platteville's like in the southernmost corner. I'm going to go with Fenimore.
Nice.
That is correct. Fenimore, a little north of Platteville.
I would give that an 8.25 on the from the Russian judge, because you really gotta feel it. You gotta sell it. Latitudinally. But it was a good first effort.
Okay.
I respect it. All right, question 3. Tucker, an opportunity to go 3 for 3. A little promo work. It worked into question 3. I love it. Well done, Riley. I love it.
Thank you.
Are you on the call for this game, by the way?
I am, yes. Me and the Dean.
So not only is it promotion for ESPN Madison, it's self-promotion. So I like that even better.
Yeah, second time today.
All right, Tucker, here's the question. Sun Prairie West travels to Milton tomorrow for ESPN Madison's Prep Mania broadcast. Milton, and that's is that baseball? That's baseball?
Yes, baseball tomorrow.
Milton was once home to Milton College, which produced which Pro Bowl quarterback? Is it Warren Moon, Dave Craig, or Boomer Esiason?
Wow. So, difficulty definitely ramped up. I was going to give his difficulty ratings at the end. I am going to go with...
Do you want the choices again?
No, I'll just say B. I don't think it matters. I'll just say B. It was a three-way tie for which one to say.
So, Tucker, how old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay, so you're probably still on the young side, because I'm a little bit older than that. When Dave Craig, who was the quarterback for the Seahawks for most of his career in the NFL, it was almost as if the phrase "from Tiny Milton College" was part of his name. Dave Craig from Tiny Milton College, every broadcast. So well done. You're 3 for 3. How do you rate the difficulty of Riley's questions latitudinally?
I think latitudinally they went in the right direction, or longitudinally. Latitudinally they went in the right direction. 1 out of 10. Got to give that easy one with the joke answer. Good joke. Tausch's undisclosed location. 5 out of 10 for the second one, because I think that's the appropriateness of the second question, and 10 out of 10 on the final one, because not knowing Milton College and then throwing in 3 90s, 80s era quarterbacks just really upped the difficulty. So I think a well-done progression by the young Riley Yauk there.
Thank you, Tucker. Really
Kudos
appreciate
to
it.
Riley.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Hey, I had a quick super punch-out thing, too, Mike Tyson deal, too. I mentioned this in the YouTube comments, but when I was in San Francisco a few years ago, there was this really cool dive bar called Soda Popinski's, and if you could beat Mike Tyson's punch-out in one run, you won a free bottle of champagne, and your picture got on the wall of the bar. So it's kind of like one of those steak eating contests, but in San Francisco. And it was just like a cool old-school video game bar that me and my friend went to in between some downtime at a conference. So some cool San Francisco trivia there as well.
That is an awesome added bonus to your appearance. Tucker, thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you a ton.
All right. Love you guys.
That is Wilde Tausch Trivia presented by Cousin Subs, Iron Jock, and Vortex Golf. We will get to Whoa Riley, because we certainly have not had enough Riley on today's program. That is next. It's Wilde Tausch.
It's the summer of suspense for Giannis and the Bucks.
So sometime over the next 6 or 7 weeks, we'll decide whether Giannis is going to sign a max contract and stay with us, or he's going to play somewhere else.
Follow along right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love, with 0% financing options available, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free at-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer expires May 31st, 2026.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Brewers fans, this is your flawless moment. Carmeless is sending you to a VIP day at the ballpark with the Milwaukee Brewers on August 29th. We're talking 4 suite tickets, free food and beverage, and exclusive pregame batting practice access. You'll even get to experience Bernie's slide throughout a ceremonial first pitch and score a $250 gift card to the Brewers team store. Go to CarmelessBallparkSweepstakes.com to enter for your chance to win a flawless day at the ballpark. No purchase necessary. Ends June 1st, 2026. Must be 21 or older.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a legendary group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 5th through the 7th with an exciting team competition at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Little Big Town with special guests Randy Houser and May Estes. Friday, June 5th at Breeze Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Running a business doesn't leave time to wait.
You need answers and a banker who responds. At Starion Bank, you work directly with local decision makers who understand your business and act quickly. No runaround, no delays, just solutions. The right banking relationship makes a difference, especially when things get complicated. Starion Bank, built for the long game. Visit starionbank.com to get started today.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Again, Prep Baseball on ESPN Madison and on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Sun Prairie West, the Wolves taking on Milton, whose mascot is
the Red Hawk.
The Red Hawks.
Yes.
Wolves, Red Hawks. And when can we tune in for this? When is this tilt?
So first pitch is 7 p.m. tomorrow from Milton High School, right behind Milton High School. And pregame coverage begins at 6:45. YouTube only. And I believe maybe the ESPN Wisconsin app as well. But for sure on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
You and Dennis Semmerow
will
be behind the mics.
Yes, sir. Always love getting to call games for my alma mater.
That is a WIAA regional game?
It is the last game of the regular season.
Oh, actually. Regular season.
Yep, final game.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And
should be
try
fun.
to be unbiased.
Yep.
Time now for Will Riley.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde Tausch.
All right, Jason. If I had Woe Riley yesterday, I would have gotten to this topic of conversation. I believe Jen, Gabe, and Chewy spent a decent amount of their show on this topic. But did you happen to see a few days ago what Abner Uribe did towards the Cardinals dugout?
I did see it, yes.
Well, in case you didn't, there it is.
And I'm told there's a wrestler's move.
Yeah, apparently like DTX, something along those lines. I'm not a big.
I thought you were a wrestling guy.
Not a pro wrestling guy. Pro wrestling is fake. It's scripted. It's good entertainment.
Predetermined outcomes.
Yeah, it's entertainment. It's like a reality TV show with wrestling, I guess, is the main crux. Whatever. It's not my thing. Personally, I like the real fights or your classic traditional folk style Greco-Roman wrestling, et cetera, et cetera.
Who doesn't love Greco-Roman wrestling?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's awesome. Olympic style, whatever, freestyle, et cetera. Anyways, is that IPT? Abner Uribe thought that the Cardinals, yes, the game before, were throwing at the Brewers, specifically Christian Yelich. So, after striking out, I forget who it was in the 8th to end the inning, and winning a very narrow challenge.
Just going to say, struck him out, did the move, and then it was confirmed on replay.
It was awfully close, too. I think about 0.2 of an inch within the strike zone. But is that IPT? Or is that an appropriate way to defend your team and your team's honor?
No, I saw Jesse's favorite manager, Pat Murphy, basically scold him publicly for doing this. Uribe, in Spanish with a translator, right?
Yep.
Apologized, explained himself, but apologized. Look, I know this sounds corny, but I do believe in sportsmanship, and it was also kind of a risky. Like, if the replay doesn't go your way, you now have to face that guy. You look kind of foolish because the at bat isn't over. I mean, is this a major faux pas? I wouldn't go that far. He's an emotional cat, as Murphy said. I would prefer he didn't do it again if I'm Pat Murphy, and I'll leave it at that. What did you think?
Okay, I was a fan of it. I like it. It's the Cardinal. Come on, that's awesome. It's a rivalry game. He thought they were throwing at his guys, so that was his way of defending his team's honor and saying, "Eat it," essentially, in less kind words. So I was a fan of it, and even if it would have been called a ball, that might have been funnier if he did that and then it was a walk after that, and then he's got to hop on the mound and face another guy. That arguably
it was a 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, it was a full count.
Yikes.
Full count. So he would have walked him if the pitch was called a ball. So I love it. I think Jonathan Lucroy made a whole tweet condemning it and how, this shows a lack of leadership in the Brewers clubhouse, blah, blah, blah. When then it turned out Yelich and everyone handled it internally. I was a fan of it. A little immature, yes, but it was handled. It was funny. And now we have a great GIF we can post when the Brewers win.
GIF, huh?
Yeah, I'm a GIF guy, not a GIF. I like GIF, like the peanut butter. It's a soft G.
More of a Skippy guy myself.
All right.
Whoa, Nelly.
All right, moving on. The Axe game. It actually, funny enough, Big Ten Network is currently just playing in the studio here, and they're playing last year's Axe game, which Minnesota defeated Wisconsin. Very sad, but funny it should be playing that right now because yesterday it was announced that the Badgers and Minnesota are going to be playing on Black Friday, standalone tilt, NBC, national landscape, I guess, nationally broadcasted, 6:30 p.m. Personally, I really like this. As a fan, I think this is cool. I think Wisconsin-Minnesota deserves to be a standalone game, and if you have to put it on Black Friday, you're not going to beat the game at 11 a.m. on Rivalry Saturday. You're not going to beat the Iron Bowl, 2:30 on Saturday. Then you're not going to beat, I don't know what game they'd put in the nightcap. But I like that Minnesota-Wisconsin is getting its own nationally televised time slot for the Axe. I think it's going to be cinema. I'm really looking forward to it. But I saw some people saying they think Wisconsin-Minnesota every year should be Saturday, 2:30. That's the correct time to put it at. So, Jason, do you have a strong opinion either way? When should the Axe game be played?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I feel strongly enough to have a alleged opinion per se. I kind of like them playing at the end of the season, though, right? Is that still the last regular season game for them?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that I'll take that. Thanksgiving Eve, we now have a Packers game. Then we got all the Thanksgiving games. And then the NFL has a Black Friday game as well, right? That the Badgers game would theoretically be competing with?
Probably, yes.
And did you say that this Minnesota game is not on over-the-air television? It's on Peacock?
No, it's on NBC.
Oh,
it is.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Not Peacock.
No, it's not
Good
Peacock.
news for Tausch. He'll be calling that game, so he doesn't have to worry about whether it was wherever it might have been. I'm fine with it. I also read that Oregon State is going to return to playing each other despite not being the same conference anymore, starting in the 2028 season. So I saw that as well. I like rivalry games. I enjoy them. I went to a number of Minnesota-Wisconsin games over the years. So this is good. I'm fine with it. I'm not strongly opinionated on either one, though.
Tausch, I know it's messing with your schedule on that Thanksgiving weekend, but do you like Wisconsin-Minnesota standalone Black Friday, or do you wish it was Saturday, 2:30?
I like the standalone, actually. Well, obviously Thanksgiving, you're typically going to be around and you should be home. But if if it's going to be the last weekend, and I do wonder how the calendar is going to change with what I think is ever conference championship games potentially going away. I do agree with Jason. I want this to always be the last game on the schedule. It should always be Gophers, Badgers the last weekend. And if it's a standalone on the Friday.
Yep, Friday, great. Black Friday.
Let's keep it that way. I'm fine with that. I'd like it just to be consistent that it's going to be the last week. And if you move it around, the more eyeballs on these games, to me, especially at the end of a year, for your program, I think is better. So I'm on board with it. Even though it screws my schedule, I want to be selfish. I'm on board with it being okay.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm really looking forward to that game. I think Wisconsin-Minnesota is a criminally underrated rivalry that deserves more national attention.
Criminally is probably strong, but it's definitely underrated. But in fairness, the last couple of years, it's been what it's been, and that's been a couple of average teams playing, right?
You better ask somebody.
Yeah.
That is Will Riley. Tausch is back. We'll wrap things up with him next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Available in the Apple and Android app stores. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
4 kickoff times have been updated for Wisconsin football's 2026 slate, as announced by the team Wednesday afternoon. The Badgers season opener at Lambeau against Notre Dame is now officially at 6:30 p.m. on NBC. Week 2 versus Western Illinois will start at 6:15 on the Big Ten Network. Week 3 against Eastern Michigan will begin at 11:30 a.m. on Peacock. And finally, the Axe game against Minnesota will be in prime time on Black Friday, 6:30 on NBC.
At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Get the look you want for the home you love with 0% financing options available. PellaWI.com.
Hey parents, looking for the perfect night out with the whole fam? Try the Rally Madison FC Family Special, presented by Madison Gas and Electric. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an RMFC scarf for just $18 per pack. Be a part of history and support women's soccer during Rally Madison's inaugural season at Breeze Stevens Field. Visit RallyMadisonFC.com and purchase your family special ticket packs today. That's RallyMadisonFC.com. Rally Madison, fun for all.
It's well known that the boss at the exteriors company is a perfectionist.
It's a gift.
He not only oversees every job, he inspects each aspect of the operation to get to the root of what your project will actually need to be long-lasting.
Call 960-ROOF.
Oh, he's proud of all the reviews.
What can I say? Take a look.
The Exteriors Company, built for Wisconsin, backed by expertise.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, and when you look around right now, everything seems to be extra expensive in the world, except this. Right now, get a large 3-topping pizza for just $10 at Pizza Hut. Try it on Pizza Hut's new hand-tossed crust, crispy and golden outside, soft and fluffy inside, finished with garlic parm seasoning. Available for delivery or carryout. Order today at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. Pizza Hut, feed good times, and remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I feel like as Wisconsin fans, we know of one donor, and that is Ted Kellner for the University of Wisconsin. The fact that we talk about him and nobody else's donors is part of the problem.
Part of it is that other schools have major donors. They have more than one.
Yes, that's the thing.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
That's the sound of the hail sale hitting Metro Kia of Madison. Oh, hail yeah! Recent storms rolled through, but here's the best part. Insurance has already covered the damage. That means one thing for you. Big savings across a wide selection of vehicles. This is your chance to upgrade and save thousands. Got a trade? We'll take it, paid off or not. Our lenders are working hard to help get you approved. If you've been waiting for the right time, this is it. Don't miss the hail sale happening now at your community-driven Metro Kia of Madison.
What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer.
Rooting for the Brew Crew because we're from Milwaukee too. Tastes like Miller time. TGIF. Wisconsin First Fridays gives statewide residents the chance to unlock specially priced tickets to cheer on the Crew the first Friday of each month. Courtesy of Pick and Save. Visit brewers.com/Wisconsin Fridays for full details and game dates. Milwaukee Brewers Baseball and Miller Lite.
We're on the Badgers.
This Badgers team is going to go as far as Colton Joseph takes them.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
When he is at the top of his game, this offense could be awesome.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN.
All right, Tausch, I'm going to do a day tease, a 21-hour tease.
Oh, I like that.
The Bears have the Bears beat writers have access today to an OTA. Ben Johnson at the podium right now, and he says, per Adam Johns of Chicago Sports, I'm buying Luther Burden stock right now. Luther Burden, of course, was their rookie receiver last year. Last year, he was a rookie. They drafted him, and he will have a huge role after they traded away DJ Moore. So it'll be him and Rome Odunze, who will be the top two wide receivers for the arch-rival Chicago Bears. My question for you to ponder before tomorrow's show at University Ridge, which I believe I'm going to be able to join you for.
Oh, you're coming.
In person,
okay.
Is whose stock are you buying when it comes to the Packers? Not whose bed have your boots been under, Shania Twain. Whose stock are you buying when it comes to the Green Bay Packers? Withhold your answer, and hopefully, assuming that there won't be makeup availability tomorrow with the Packers, I will see you tomorrow, and we'll talk about it then. That's it for us today. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart